And look, I can make this real simple for us. If you want to know how to build a dream pond, call Tim over at Pond Country and say, Tim, can you build this pond for me, or recommend someone else who can? This is the compilation reel, as it were, of all of the Dream Pond content that aired on the River Life YouTube channel. I've put everything together. And look, I can make this real simple for us. If you want to know how to build a dream pond, call Tim over at Pond Country and say, Tim, can you build this pond for me, or recommend someone else who can? And he'll do one or the other. I've got a brochure around here somewhere. I love looking at it still, even though I have the pond. Top-notch professional outfit from top to bottom. Give him a call. Tim over at Pond Country. The Pond Country name's been around for years and years, installing the aquascape systems, hundreds of satisfied customers. And I know why. I'm experiencing the why now. But if you want to see how I did it, keep watching. This is a lot of fun. I did a lot of searching for music that I thought would be entertaining to watch as we constructed my dream pond. And it became, the dream pond moniker came after one of my first conversations with Tim, when he told me, if you can dream it, I can build it. And sure enough, dreams do come true. I hope you enjoy all this content that we've put together. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what your favorite part is. And if you haven't subscribed to the River Life YouTube channel yet, please go ahead and click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be aware of when we upload new content. Too big. Isn't bigger better? Isn't that what we've always heard? We're going to talk about when a fish is too big for its container. I've got it going on. It's happening right now here at the River Life YouTube channel. Maybe it's happened to you, but we're taking measures. We're taking steps to make it a better environment for the fish and more enjoyable for the fish keeper. That's what we're doing. The fish is too big for the container. Usually it's an aquarium. In this case, I'm talking about some monster fish. I'm talking about koi. 3 feet plus. Man, with a set of shoulders, we're talking big fish. You know, you got to have a big place to keep them. They're not really good for a lot of aquariums over the shelf size anyway. They like a little bit cooler water. They can stand cold water. So what are we doing keeping these koi in small containers anyway? We're going to talk about it. Or we got to talk about this too big issue. I've got some things going on over here. It's occupying my mind. It's taking up a lot of real estate, and emotionally and mentally. Okay. So my mind is occupied with this idea. So where I'm at here, over here at the River Life YouTube channel, with all this inspiration and the monster fish bringing it, I guess I've sold recently the largest original paintings I've sold have involved koi. I love koi. You look at my content. Some of my most viewed content is koi. And I've been keeping them in a 300-gallon stock tank to begin with. And then once they reach, you know, a certain size, they've got to be farmed out to an actual pond. Well, I'm not so fond of farming out these fish that I raise from little guys. You know, you get attached to, they nibble on your fingers when you go out there to the pond. You say, hey, boys and girls, and they come up to greet you like, you going to feed me? You going to feed me? You going to feed me? And I know that's what they're saying, but I like to imagine we're having a conversation. Well, good morning. Hello there. How are you, sir? Good to see you. Oh, you got a haircut. But they're really not that into me. They just want me to feed them. But I'm that into them. I don't like to get rid of them. So the talk around here is installing a pond in the backyard. No more farming out the koi as they grow out, keeping them right here in the yard. And wow, what a project. So much excitement, so much anticipation, so many details. But getting into this thing, it's like, yep, okay, I'm going to have a hole in the yard, probably going to have a liner in it, maybe put some pretty rocks around. Yeah. Yeah, waterfall, that'd be cool. Some lights, yeah, maybe. Oh, definitely some landscaping. Okay, so now you're beginning to hear the scope of the project. The scale is easy. How big is the space? It's this big. Okay, what are you going to do in that space? How well, the pond's got to fit in here. Okay, so it's going to be about that big. And then how deep? Yeah, well, how deep and how does that matter? I think deeper is better. Deeper is more fun. What's the minimum depth, for a good koi pond? Always back to the bottom line. How much does it cost to go deeper? So right off the bat, you recognize that building a pond, maybe selecting the type of pond that you're going to build, it's a lot like buying a car. There are several classes and sizes of cars. Okay. Subcompact, compact, midsize, full size, luxury, SUV, crossover. You know the drill. Okay. Pick a size. Now, once you've picked that size, you pick the options, right? You ever bought a car? You ever been to a car lot? These things have options. And options mean it's not a standard feature that comes with the MSRP you see there on the sticker. It comes with another price over here on this other aisle. Okay, you add up all of these, then you get the grand total. Options. What are some options for ponds? Well, I talked about a couple there. You got lighting, exterior lighting, underwater lighting. You got water features. You got the pond, the water surface area, and then you build up for a waterfall, or you put in a bubbler, a spitter, or a piece of hardscape that the water pumps up through somehow and spills over. Lots of options. Okay, you can build a shallow ecological pool as a filter. Let the water flow through plants to filter it. You can have an intake bay where all of your debris, all your surface debris seems to congregate here. So you just need to take your little skimmer and skim out that one area all the time because it's designed to push all the debris there. You don't have to have either of those. You don't have to have a waterfall. You can mix and match. So there's a lot of options to fill. And then what color do you want? Your cars come in lots of colors. How are you going to landscape around it? Are you going to have lots of little rocks? Are you going to have a few big feature rocks? Are you going to have monkey grass? Or are you going to have Japanese maples? So many options. We're talking about too big. We're talking about fish outgrowing their container, in particular my koi, outgrowing their 300-gallon stock tank. You don't want to spend, a budget on a pond and not be happy. I don't. One of my goals, picking through all of these options and deciding what's a priority. As you got this long checklist to go through in a pond build, man, it's consuming. It's nearly overwhelming. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of anticipation. But I've found that the deeper into the process I get, the more I'm educating myself and the more solid my goals are lining up. I'm becoming more emotional about some things and less caring about other things. At a distance, when the pond was just an idea, it becoming YouTube content was very important. Can't do this and not capture it and share it with all of you guys and roll out some more cool koi content. And now as we get closer, it's like, well, the first priority is not to make the YouTube viewer happy. Sorry, no offense intended, but it's to make the koi happy. We're going to be deep enough. We're going to have fish caves and hides. They're going to be okay to overwinter in this thing. We're going to be protecting them from predators. You get the drift. Okay. And then now A close second priority is our happiness as homeowners and fish keepers. Riverwife and I don't live on the river anymore. So this pond is going to be our river. We need a place where we can go sit with a beverage, a glass in hand, and we want to enjoy our pond. So there'll probably be a couple of water features. There'll probably be some lights. There'll probably be some very attractive landscaping, and of course, beautiful koi. So the placement of the pond comes into play there. Where does it eat? Where do they congregate? Near where we congregate, so we can share this quality of life, this moment together. And so the YouTube content element is like drifting farther and farther away. Will there be content? Yes, of course there will be. It just won't be prioritized. We're going to take care of the koi. We're going to install this thing in our yard. We're going to invest in our real estate, in our hardscape and landscape in a way that benefits us. It's not going to be ornamental. It's going to be in the backyard. People driving by are going to have no idea. It's for us. So we need to be able to enjoy it. The pond needs to be large enough to house a koi so that the koi doesn't become too big. There's a risk there of koi becoming too many, right? We all struggle with that temperance there, but the in-ground pond needs to be the forever home of the koi. So, we're talking here about measuring the dimensions in feet, depth, width, length, and the gallonage probably in the thousands. So definitely the biggest fish keeping project I have ever taken on. Biggest in scope and scale and budget, biggest impact in my life. And those of you who have in-ground ponds, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, I've had several in-ground ponds before, but nothing of this magnitude. Mostly just the preformed or smaller liners, kind of DIY. But this one is going to be the one. This one's going to be the one you guys know about, that you see along the way, that I introduce you to our contractor, whoever we choose. And we experience a learning curve together, and we enjoy the final product together. That's the goal. I think it'll be interesting to share the build, the coming together with you guys. I hope you enjoy that. And then the final product, I'll be so proud to do a reveal of the final product and introduce you to the koi. But then I want to hang out with you some, maybe we can do live streams out by the pond. Maybe you can see how we enjoy our pond, how this pond comes into our life. So there's an area of the yard that we've kind of picked out. We think this is visible from most windows on the inside. It's very interactive from our outdoor space, our patio, the covered portion and uncovered portion. And this area right here, and it's not a very big area. So roughly 10 feet by 20 feet. Okay. And then probably some of that would be consumed by landscaping berms and whatnot. That wouldn't all be water surface area, and 3 feet deep for protection from herons and other predators. We don't have near the predators here that we did on the river. We're talking about too big. If bigger is better, how can anything be too big? Well, your fish that you're keeping in captivity, they don't need to be cramped. They don't need to be cramped in their quarters. They need to have room to change their mind and stuff, I got these koi that are fine space-wise in a 300-gallon tub. But when you want to keep 10 koi from this big to this big in a 300-gallon tub, you recognize this isn't sustainable. What are we going to do? We're going to put a pond in the ground. We're making we're making decidings. We're deciding things. We're moving forward. We have a plan. No groundbreaking yet. When it does, you'll know about it. And I'm definitely looking for a community pond, lots of different types of koi. Not interested in breeding. They may, if they do, that's great. Not sure what I would do if I found a bunch of koi fry. Maybe just let them grow out naturally. I don't know. Cross that bridge when we get to it. Budget. Where's the smart money spent? I think the smart money on a pond is spent on the scale, the size, maximizing the water surface and depth to the space you can fit it in. If keeping fish is your primary objective, it could be that just a visual enhancement. In that case, you don't need a very big pool of water at all. But if keeping fish is your primary objective, I think the size of the pond, the surface area, and the depth is where your smart money is spent. And let me tell you, you can lose your budget in the details. There just are so many of them, so many options. I mean, I would say spend your first money and best money and most money on the size of the pond itself. And then after you get that squared away, see how much your budget's left on things such as hardscape and landscape. Now, we want a beautiful hardscape to go with our pond. Yep, we're going to put the koi in there. They're going to have a nice place to stay, but we want a nice hardscape to include feature rocks. I mean, tons of mountain stone, indigenous East Tennessee, mountain river, moss covered stone, big Japanese style stones, in the garden, which the style we're going to, I've shared this with several people. I didn't make this up. I forget where I picked it up, but the style I'm going for is Appalachian. That's a fusion of Japanese culture and Appalachian culture. And it works so well together as a fusion because many parts of Japan are close to the latitude, and there are some mountainous regions over there, much like the Appalachian Mountains. So you get some cool pine trees, some cool Tennessee mountain river stone, and a Japanese maple. Whew, man. Talking about something really cool. Get some river birch in there and a Japanese black pine. Good looking stuff. And listen, it can't be shabby quarters for these koi because, a couple of the koi are award winning. That was a major show. The Central Florida Koi Show is no joke. And two of the koi won second place in their division. So they got to have some pretty nice quarters there. Yeah, and that may be where we are, $20,000 range. I don't know. I'll share all that with you as necessary, not to brag or complain, but just so you know. I was looking at some websites of these pond builders that do phenomenal work. And I mean, 120,000, 180,000. No, these are massive, like projects that are larger than my entire backyard. But man, the hundreds of thousands of tons of stone just stacked to, I don't know, to make a mountain out of them and flow water out of them. Just crazy. Unbelievable, gorgeous. But yeah, you got to have the money, to buy that kind of thing. I did see, I watch a lot of the Pond Guys video. I met Greg Whitstock at Aquashella years ago. The first Aquashella I went to, and I've seen him Aquatic Experience. And then I saw him later at Aquashella, headquartered up there in Chicago. So he's been to both Aquatic Experience and Aquashella. He just built the pond for Shaquille O'Neal. His latest video series features several different videos of the pond he just built for Shaquille O'Neal. So ponds are very in vogue. They're very popular as landscape elements, as property value enhancers. That's not the first celebrity pond build Greg has featured on his Greg Whitstock, the Pond Guy YouTube channel. But they're really cool. They're catching on. They're trending, as we say. But they're also a fantastic place to put your koi in. You know, koi, goldfish, and Camp Cannon has African cichlids in a pond big enough for he and his family to swim in. That's crazy. I think Greg Whitstock built that pond. He took a huge crew up there to Camp Cannon and built that swimming pond that he filled with African cichlids. If you're going to do a pond, make sure you get the size of the pond first. I think that's where the smart money is. And how much it should cost is how much you're willing to invest in the pond. I've done them for a little bit of nothing with these plastic preforms. I've done temporary ponds with a wooden frame and a tarp. Just put water in it. Up to now, we're looking at, changing our yard forever. This is a pretty permanent installation. So the budget range is wide. You decide what the budget is. Use it to the best of your ability, starting with how much water can I get in the pond within my budget, and then go for the decorations. That's my recommendation. Welcome to the big pond conversation. It's happening. We're going to have the in-ground pond going in here at the River Life YouTube studios. And this is the conceptual stage. No shovels, no excavation equipment, just getting started. You're in at ground level. Oh, I kill me. Have any of you guys experienced or are you now keeping an in-ground pond? What's the level of experience in the chat with you guys? I'm having my, I've had in-ground ponds before, but mostly small, preformed plastic, maybe a bog with a pond liner in it, and had a wonderful carnivorous plant bog. But this is going full scale. We're talking koi size. So you guys have seen some of the River Life YouTube channel videos. You know, I'm a koi fan. I've kept koi for a number of years. Always been a fan of the long fin koi. Somehow the Japanese attach more of a value to the standard fin koi. And the butterfly koi, the long fin koi, although they have their own stature, they're a serious type of koi. They're not the fundamental base unit. So they're a little more decorative, and I guess a cultural comparison. That's okay. I love the fish. I love looking at the fish. The fish move slower, and you see more of a fish movement with the longer fin. And I like to enjoy my fish in a peaceful manner. And there's not much more peaceful than watching a nice long fin koi just float through clear pond water. I mean, if you just give yourself a second to imagine that right now, probably you're going to enter closer to a Zen state than before you allowed that thought to enter your mind. There's a lot going on with that butterfly koi affection. I mean, the deeper I study koi, the more I understand that the butterfly koi is a result of the original ornamental carp, the koi that was bred for color and design. I get it. But as far as personal preference goes, I don't care. I don't care which one is more respected in the industry. I know what I enjoy watching. And there are so many varieties. It would be not as much fun to not choose a preference. It doesn't matter what your preference is. There's so many to choose from. See what you like, find what you like. Look at it virtually. You can find koi all over the internet. Enjoy them at your nature center, your garden centers usually sell koi in the summer. Get some of your own. I mean, these things get large. I'm having to build a pond in my backyard to house these. I've had some for a number of years. We've moved recently. I brought them back to my new house, put them in a 300-gallon stock tank. That's the long oval They don't have any trouble at all turning around, and they have several feet. I think it's 9 feet long to swim in, but still overcrowded. And that thing's not large enough to home them long term. So we're going big. We're going from a few 100 gallons to a few 1,000 gallons. That's going to be wonderful with some, some landscape, hardscape, yard beautification amenities. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to the day I can show you pictures before, during, and after. There'll be some content. And watch other pond builds. It's very exciting for me to watch a pond build. There was no pond there. Oh my gosh, look at that pond. I think you're going to like it. I hope you do. I hope you'll come along with me the whole way and consume the content, share the content, help the River Life channel grow, and let's share this wonderfulment that we enjoy as fish keepers with others out there. We're going for a Jappalachian theme, a fusion of the Appalachian and Japanese garden culture, some indigenous plants like mountain laurel, rhododendron, some Japanese influenced plants like Japanese maples, Japanese black pine, and potted plants that I've cultivated as bonsai trees. In the pond culture, it all works together. I know to be aware of where I put the bonsai trees that are going to require fertilization. I don't want the runoff from the fertilization getting into the pond, adding nutrients to the pond. That is counterproductive. So I'm going to have to be aware that the runoff from rain and watering of the bonsai are going to have to go around the pond and maybe be absorbed by other plants in the garden that can use them. And just so now you hear me talking about an ecosystem. Again, just like our community, the sum of the parts have are a greater value than the individual pieces. I love that. The cohesion, the system has its own value. That was one of my favorite kois. And that still, I grabbed that still photograph from a video. You can actually see me introduce that koi to the 300-gallon stock tank a couple of years ago. If you watch the koi videos. Kevin Scholler is here. Good to see you, sir. Sorry I'm late. I was watching last night's live stream. Well, welcome aboard. I'm glad you caught that live stream. We had a great time last night. Just a bunch of friends gathered around the computer, chatting about keeping fish and aquariums and stuff. It was a great time. Dickie's Beer Reviews. Thank you so much for being here, and cheers to you, sir. Absolutely. By the way, my friend Kevin is not shouting. He's using all capital letters because he's joined us from his work, where he is in front of a computer monitor all day. And as a dispatcher, emergency first responder dispatcher, the letters are locked in. There's no option to use lowercase. So thank you for saying hello from work, Kevin. We appreciate and salute your effort in dispatching our emergency services. Candy Overhaul mentions to become a member, all you got to do is click the link. We do appreciate the memberships. It helps the engine run. It helps the channel go. It's the pat on the back. It's the push up the hill. Channels aren't free. I mean, the platform's free. That YouTube doesn't charge you, but you got to have a camera, a mic, maybe some lights. It's some device to connect you to the internet service. So when you become a member, it helps, and I appreciate it. That said, I would probably do this if no one became a member, but having members makes it so much easier. And beyond the fiscal help, the encouragement to say, yeah, we support you. Keep going. We're with you. Come on, let's go. That means a whole lot. It ends up being motivation and energy and desire, accountability. So thank you guys very much for your support as members. It's just an opportunity to support. I don't make any promises. You may get an occasional behind the scenes peek that non-members won't get. Other than that, you get recognized in the chat. You get a nice koi badge by your name that I'm very proud of. I do try to recognize you in chat and say thank you for being a supporting community member. If you don't want to become a member and you do want to support, hit that thumbs up. That's something you can do. Doesn't cost anything. Gives me a little boost. I really enjoy it. It makes me feel good. It helps the algorithm to recognize, hey, there's positive engagement over here on this channel. Let's push it out there. gives us the opportunity to bring more people into our community and we have more people to be friends with. Texas Fish says learning new things. Bonsai is definitely new. Go for it, Texas Fish. Go for it. I mean, I know areas are different. I'm in Tennessee, you're in Texas, but I can't remember a time when I could not go to a big box DIY out to the garden area and find a short needled juniper in a 1 gallon bucket for less than $10. I mean, I haven't looked this spring, crazy times, but I think if I went and looked this spring, I would find a 1 gallon juniper for less than $10. And yeah, I recommend if you want to try it, got you a pair of scissors, run over to the DIY, drop $10 or less on a 1 gallon juniper and follow along with the video. See if you like it. What's the risk? $10, right? Go safely, do things safely at your own pace. Stay in your comfort zone. That's all I'm saying. Just stay in your comfort zone. Aquatic Nest is here. Got the like button. Thanks for saying something I forgot. Hey, I forget all the time. That's why I say it. Nest, thanks for dropping in. I'm the guy. I go in with the full intention of hitting the like button and immediately get distracted by the chat or the content. And I forget until somebody nice in the chat says, don't forget the like button. Click. So it doesn't bother me to give everyone a soft reminder, even an ask. Would ash juniper work? Texas Fish, I don't know of a juniper that wouldn't work. They will all work. You can bonsai any tree. Bonsai is the Japanese vernacular. Bonsai is how the colloquial slang has come about here in America. Same thing in context. You know what you're talking about, a tree in a pot. The one that I recommend, if you can find it, it's usually available. Over the counter, it's there. The common name is the Japanese garden juniper, and it's got the smallest leaf, so the proportions look really good. It grows a real compact leaf pad, and the leaves are very small, so it looks really good as a bonsai tree. Procumbens nana. Procumbens is the juniper. It's juniper procumbens, and nana is like a smaller version. Of course, you know that from fish keeping. And so the procumbens nana is my go-to. Any of the others, go for it. I've attempted all of them with varying degrees of success, and it just comes down to preference. If you're starting and they have Fish Room Fever is here, moderator extraordinaire and member. Thank you, James, for being here and helping out. I appreciate you, brother. Excellent live stream last night with Chattanooga Ed on the Nocturnal Feeding Show. You guys should check that out on the Chattanooga Ed channel, and definitely go over to the Fish Room Fever YouTube channel and see what's happening over there. Things are changing. Aquarium Co-op. No. That's there's an Aquarium Co-op sticker on my desk, and Aquarium Cop is in the chat. This old brain, weak sometimes. Aquarium Cop asterisk has dropped a $2 super chat and says Sand Creek Aquatics, red circle. Sand Creek Aquatics, our friend Nathan. We remember him fondly. It's a tough loss for the fish family. This is a sticker I have. It was the last sticker that Nathan sent me, and I'm going to send it to the Zen Ginger, who's requested it, who was one of his moderators. We do remember Nathan fondly, and that reminds me to say, and I hope that answered your question about any juniper. I jumped off of that when I saw Fish Room Fever here, and then the $2 super chat. Yeah, try any juniper. But Sand Creek Aquatics, Nathan Alexander loved and supported all of us. He was a collector of my art, supported me in every way. And we miss Nathan. One of the things we're doing in memorial is recommending people go to Sand Creek Aquatics YouTube channel and subscribe. We're trying to get his YouTube channel in memorandum, in memorial of Nathan to 1,000 subscribers, because we know he would enjoy that. So if you haven't gone over and checked out Sand Creek, know that he was a beautiful community member And it's a real loss that we're feeling not to have Nathan around. If you're into that kind of thing, go over there to Sand Creek and hit the subscribe button, and let's get his channel to 1,000 subscribers as a memorial to Nathan. Okay, that's a great note to move forward on. Just helping each other out, doing community work. We've talked about the pond. It's coming. I'm getting more information today, by the way. So the next time we get together, I'll have more information about the pond. I can't wait to share with you. Can you believe it? The pond is on the way. The pond is in the pipeline. It's been basically a lifelong dream. We have talked about it around here. We've planned on it. We've considered several options. We've had a few false starts through the years. But by golly, the big dream pond is going to be in the ground soon. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to talking to you guys about it tonight. I hope you'll contribute in the chat. Several of you showing up early. The chat's full of great people over here already, full of anticipation and excitement. And so am I. We're going to have a great time talking about a dream pond. What is a dream pond? It's a pond you've dreamed about having. It's the moonshot. It's that thing that has come into your life slowly with lots of thought, cultivation, effort, relationship building, travel, meeting people, seeing things, learning things. And now it's about to happen, and I'm so happy about it. I can't wait to build a koi pond playlist. I said build koi pond in my mind, fireworks again. Yeah, we're going to build a pond, but I want to build a playlist for you guys to follow along with the build. This live stream is going to be part of that playlist. We're going to have the first conversation we had together since the signing of the contract for the pond build. It's going to be in the playlist. Then we're going to follow along. We're going to build the pond. We're going to stock the pond. We're going to enjoy the pond. We're going to do updates on the pond, enhancements on the pond, maybe expansions on the pond. But I'm going to build a pond playlist because, first of all, I love it. Second of all, I'm a YouTube creator. It's natural for me to want to make content out of the things that I love. And when I do, every time I do, you guys come through with that amazing support and encouragement. Thank you in advance for supporting this project. Thank you for supporting the project thus far in so many ways, both known and unknown. You River Life art collectors, this project could not have happened without you. A project would have happened. We would have had a pond, but the pond is happening now because of your support by purchasing the River Life art in our Facebook auctions on Friday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Every super chat, every AdSense revenue stream that's been generated through the River Life channel, every thumbs up, every positive comment, every hand that I've shook along the way, all are a part of this pond build. You're all in it. It's basically our pond, but it's in my yard. I get to look after it every day. This pond build that is basically underway. We've got the project is started. The ground hasn't been broken yet, but the project is underway. I am so happy to have the pond of my dreams coming to my backyard. I'm going to share it with you. Don't you worry about that. I'm going to bring you this project. I'm going to be happy about doing it. It's not going to be one of those, oh man, I have to make another video about the pond. It's going to be like, oh guys, you're not going to believe this. I can't wait to share this with you. Look what happened today. I mean, there's going to be digging and rubber liners and rocks and water and koi. It's going to be great. What else could you want? We're going to talk about this pond. Someone asked if there were going to be blueprints involved in tonight's conversation. No. There's some show and tell though. Don't get me wrong. There's going to be some show and tell. I'll tell you what I do have. Since you mentioned it, Dragon Lair, this is an awesome sketch, okay? I love this. This is the quintessential napkin drawing, and it captures everything. Feast your eyes on the pond by the existing steps and notice the stream running down to the pond and the location of the skimmer and the proximity of the pond to the patio. This is a wonderful, wonderful sketch. Remember this sketch, okay? Oh, that's what it is? Just wait. Just wait. You're not going to believe it. I've seen the work of this pond company. We're going to talk about that. You're not going to believe it. This contractor walked the property with me, and before he left, he was finishing my sentences. He got the dream. He saw the vision. He's on board with making this spectacular and beautiful beyond my comprehension. I feel so good about this. It's going to be wonderful. And listen, I've mentioned ponds. If you've been following along, I'm not shy about talking about ponds. I spoke to some of the best pond contractors in the world. Now, all of them were based in the United States, but some of them certainly did their fair share of international projects because I knew what I wanted, and I knew who was delivering. I knew who was finishing a project that met the vision in my mind's eye. Years ago, Riverwife and I had it was an honor, pleasure to visit Aqualand in Chicago, St. Charles, Illinois, Greater Chicagoland. That is the headquarters for aquascapeinc. You may be familiar with Greg Whitstock, the Pond Guy. That's his company that he built from the ground up, starting off as a young teenage turtle keeper. He loved turtles, built ponds in his backyard, and solved pond problems throughout his young adulthood, and started a company from the ground up, and now is the only manufacturer of pond equipment in the whole world that actually installs ponds. So here's a big point. I want you guys to get this point. I can build a pond. You can build a pond. And we could do a doggone good job at it, too. We understand something about fish keeping. We can transfer that into make sure the elements that we know are necessary for fish health and enjoyment get transferred into the build. Because aquascapes under the close eye, I mean, Greg Whitstock is a hands-on guy, company owner, I guess CEO. Because he manufactures the project or the product and installs it, he's very concerned with the performance of the product. He's going to be out there pressing the flesh, meeting and greeting, seeing the people as they enjoy their pond. And he doesn't want to sell an inferior product that when he leaves, the people don't want to see him again. So he puts a lot of pride in his work, the research, the development. And then once he figured it out and he knew he was onto something, he expanded it to not only first-rate construction features and manufactured product specs that work for the long haul, that keep the pond healthy, keep the fish healthy, keep the customer happy. He recognized that he wasn't so much selling pond features and fish and plant. He was selling a lifestyle. People were buying peace of mind, relaxation, stress-free zones, de-stressing zones. He was building ponds that incorporated the owner's lifestyle into the pond. It wasn't a pretty picture. It was a part of their life. So if you look at any aquascapeinc, that's the name of Greg's company. If you look at any of their material, their brochures, they always, nearly every picture, a major feature is a lifestyle piece, whether it's Adirondack chairs on a flat rock by the pond, or if it's the pond coming right up to the patio, or if it's a feeding area where kids can wade into a shallow area of the pond to feed the fish, or sit on a flat rock and dangle their feet in the pond and have the koi come up and interact with them. Always there's a lifestyle piece. So Riverwife and I met Greg at Aquatic Experience. He was very kind enough to do a little interview, one of my first interviews on YouTube as a fish tuber, and it's still a video. You can look through my catalog of work and find Greg Whitstock, the pond guy, at Aquatic Experience speaking to me. He invited Riverwife and I over to Aqualand, which is amazing. It's the Google style workplace of pond installers. Really amazing. Indoor soccer, indoor basketball, indoor volleyball, crazy. Indoor pond displays, the kits that he sells, they're built, they're decorated, they're priced, they're lit. You just walk. It's a warehouse. It used to be a warehouse. Now it's a beautiful pond garden on the front end, an all glass wall, and you look out and see a 1 million gallon koi pond. I'm not making this up. It's really outstanding. So you're mesmerized. And when you talk to Greg, you see the facility, you start to understand the product. The work ethic is overwhelming. You talk to any of the people there at Aqualand, Greg, any of the staff, and all of their certified aquascape contractors, the CACs that are all over the world. The mantra is they love their job. Okay. I don't have to explain to you what that means. They're not drawing a check. They're not having to get up in the morning and go build another pond. They love their work because they know when they're finished, they've enhanced someone's life. When they leave, someone's life is better. That's their job. And it just so happens they achieve that by installing ponds. So all of that to say this, I started understanding the mechanics of the pond build, studying how they do it. They've got material, all kinds of resources online. I was looking at how they did this, how they cared about the ecosystem of the pond. It wasn't an afterthought, it was a forethought. Ed Ballou, the pond professor, does a wonderful block of instruction on what is an ecosystem, and then right into how they achieve that with an artificial water feature or a pond that's installed. I have a backyard now, flat area, hill, grass. That's going to change. Learning the aquascape system, knowing the aquascape people, I got it. This wasn't a landscaper's installation. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, a beautiful pond is a beautiful pond. But when you know that your pond contractor has first considered the ecosystem, you have a little bit better feeling. I do as a naturalist and a fish keeper. You got a little bit better feeling about what the end product may look like. And what Greg knew early on from keeping turtles as a teenager was a green pea soup in your backyard is no fun. It looks like a bug-infested swamp. Your neighbors don't like it, your wife doesn't like it, or your mom doesn't like it. Very important for Aquascape Inc. to deliver a product that is not that. And they have figured it out. And you wouldn't believe, I'm not going to tell you, you can go look for yourself, the techniques, the extent, the length that they go to ensure the pond is healthy once they leave it to your ownership to enjoy. Meeting Greg years ago, going through that experience changed my whole view. So now then it's changed my life to some degree. Thanks, Greg. Cheers. So I understood. Yeah, I think when I go forward with the pond, that's going to be the way to go. Even if that means I have to push the time frame out a little bit. You know, I have to work out all the fiscal and physical things, the calendaring and the time frame, the property, not so much zoning, but when we lived on the river, there were so many predators at ground level. I would have had to protect any pond I put in, like Fort Knox, and it would have been difficult for me to enjoy that lifestyle element of the pond. So when Riverwife and I moved here to Mountain Home, Tennessee, it was like hearing angels sing. Oh yeah, this is going to be the place where we can have our pond. So I would see Greg Whitstock and the Aquascape guys at all of the fish events that I would travel to. And I started to ask Greg, when are you going to build my pond? Well, a couple of weeks ago, you may or may not know this, Greg and a team of his excellent CACs built Shaquille O'Neal's pond. They just finished the big Shaq pond. It's a big deal. What a pond. Amazing. So I recognize that the River Life pond wasn't going to be real high on the marketing team list over there at aquascapeinc, but still worth an ask. So Greg and Ed over there at Aquascapes, they weren't able to schedule me right away, if you know what I mean. I wasn't too heartbroken, but I would have been remiss not to have asked. So I filled out the form. I got my ducks in a row, ready to go. Now's the time. Let's see how we can make this happen. Went to the Aquascape. This isn't paid, by the way. Greg has no idea I'm saying this. There's no compensation from Aquascapes in any way. I've met the man. I've been to the place. I believe in the product. I've compared it to others. I've talked to a number of pond contractors. I've selected one, contracted with one. And the reason I chose the one I did started with the information I'm sharing with you now. Went to the Aquascape website and found a form. Very simple, 5 seconds to fill out. Basically, you give them your contact information with your location, and they send that to every CAC, certified aquascape contractor in the region around me. So I sent them my information. They sent that information to the CACs. I started getting phone calls, emails. Fantastic people. I only need one pond. I only need one contractor. So now here I am with the cream of the crop. How am I going to make my selection? It's down now. I've got to contact the CACs. Had a wonderful conversation with all of them. And I mean, I was very far along the learning curve before we got in touch with each other. So it wasn't so much educational as it was, I know what you do. I know how you do it. I like it. These contractors actually have YouTube channels. I was able to go through our platform, check out some of the work. No surprises. Beautiful. Award-winning in some cases. My goodness. Outstanding. So I'm talking, I want to hire them all. I want a pond. Okay. So here was the deciding factor became schedule. I've waited all my life. I'm an old man. I'm not getting any younger. I want a pond. I've got a place to get the pond. I want it yesterday. And if you can't get it yesterday, tomorrow will be fine. So one contractor, these guys are excellent pond builders. This is pond building season. In the weird condition of the things in our nation and the world right now, home improvement is on the rise. The home improvement guys are busy. So I wasn't surprised that no one could build me a pond tomorrow. But in talking to these wonderful CACs who do immaculate and award-winning work and just care so much about the customer and the conversation, I wish you guys could have been a part of the conversations I had. Absolutely wonderful. It was similar to having a conversation with the owner down at the local fish store that you'd been a part of for years. It was that very same vibe, and I appreciate it very much. But at the end of the decision-making process, one contractor could build in July, One contractor could build in August. I picked contractor that could build in July. Happy that I did. Everything worked out just fine. I'm sure it would have worked just fine, and I would have had a wonderful pond to share with you guys in August. I didn't want to wait till August. I wanted to build in July. So that's how the cookie crumbled. Here's the logo. I want you to see this logo of my pond contractor. Out of the Knoxville area, it's Pond Country. Pond Country, kind of a cartoon frog and a Pond Country logo. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it online. I do encourage you to check out Pond Country. My buddy Tim over there at Pond Country is going to build my pond. Pond Country, I know, has a YouTube channel, and they've got not a huge YouTube channel. They've got a pond project on their YouTube channel, though, that's absolutely enormous. Basically a pond redo. And by redo, I mean redo. It's not a refurb. Take down everything that's there, rebuild it beautifully. It was pretty impressive. My pond is not going to be that big. But Tim called, texted, came by the house, actually had built the pond in the greater area here, invited me over, met the owners. Are you surprised that the owners were as excited after he finished their pond as I am about getting one? So nice. Those people are so sweet. And they were telling me all the benefits they were already getting from the pond, how relaxed they were, how at the end of a stressful day, they can just sit down on their patio and that waterfall just takes their troubles away. I mean, it was like music to my ears. Here it is. You hear the marketing info from the installers, and you believe it, but it's what they're saying to sell another pond. When you hear the owner who's just laid out the cash, not have any buyer's remorse, but why didn't I do this sooner? That was amazing. And the pond that I walked around, brand new, I mean, hasn't grown in yet, the water hasn't settled yet. Was it green? No, it was a little stained, but I could count the fish in the bottom of the 3-foot pond. And that was, what they would call dirty water that's on its way to becoming crystal clear because of the system that they incorporate. We're not going to talk so much about the system. That's for another video. Tonight, we're not going to talk about it. When my pond clears out, I'm going to show you how clear it is, and then we're going to talk about why. Not an accident. And if you've seen ponds that turn pea soup and look like a bug-infested swamp, you know what I'm talking about. This isn't going to happen. Listen, I saw this pond, walked around it, looked at the plant. The plants haven't grown in yet, but I noticed them. There's one, and they're everywhere, tucked in here, tucked in there. So natural. I mean, tons of river boulders. We're not talking about stacked slate or flagstone or a lot of pea gravel. We're talking about boulders, big, heavy equipment had to move these things, boulders. And it actually looked, in the Smoky Mountain National Park, if you've ever had the pleasure of being there, the most visited national park in the entire national park system, this huge boulder, first of all, your mind is blown. How did these enormous boulders get on top of a mountain? And then your mind doesn't care anymore because look what they do when they get here. They cause that mountain stream to bend around, and there's a little waterfall here, a little trickle over there. And so, I mean, my expectations are very high because I grew up in these mountains. I know the beauty of a mountain stream. And when I see this artificial pond, I'm like, wow. I mean, you kind of nailed it. There didn't used to be any water here. It was a lawn with the grass and a flat spot, and just like my yard, and a little hill. And now these huge mountain boulders have been placed. Excavation has happened, the boulders placed, and then the boulders have been packed in place as if they're grown in. They're not stacked on top of the ground. It looks as though they've been there for years. I'm so excited. So Tim at Pond Country gave me the tour, just smiled. I said, I a big part of this pond build is going to be my YouTube content. Am I going to be able to, to film you along the way? He said, heck yeah. Look forward to it. It's going to be a big collab. We're going to have a great project when we're finished. Well, can I get you to say a few things now in front of this pond? Yeah. And I said, well, and here's a spoiler alert. You're going to see this in an upcoming video. I said, Tim, it seems like when you're finished with the project, you're leaving the owner with more than just a hole in the ground that you've dropped a liner in, stacked some rocks around, and filled it up with water. It seems like you're leaving more than that when you're finished. How would you describe your finished product? Now, I'm not going to tell you how he answered. I want you to tune into that video. And I mean, your expectations are going to be met. You already have an idea. And so he said that. We turned around and the owners had come to the patio. And so I asked the owners, I said, he had given me some information. I took one of his points and I said, do you experience this? Absolutely, they did. Every day. Not an accident. He's not making that up. That's not something that happens over at that other pond he built. It's happening right there where he said it did. I can't wait until that's my experience. And it will be soon. So right now, that little sketch that you saw, it's basically a reminder. Tim and I walked the backyard. He had a white can of white spray paint in his hand. We walked the backyard and he drew on my grass where that pond is going to be. Where would you like your waterfall? He said. And I said, I want it right here. That's going to come down right toward the patio. It's going to be in the major part of our view shed from inside the house. He took his little paint can, as if it were a magic wand. He painted squiggly lines on my grass. And he said, that's where we're going to put your waterfall. You're going to have a 25-foot stream. And we're going to pack boulders in there, and it's going to be cascading waterfalls all the way down into your pond. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. He said, and this one and that one, we're going to put a little light under those waterfalls. So at night, the waterfalls they're going to do their waterfall thing, but they're going to have a light behind them. You're going to really appreciate that at night. It's going to be a 24/7 pond. Holy cow. I'm going to have to slow down here. Oh, man. I was just seeing it. I knew he was seeing it the way that I wanted it to happen. I've dug ponds. I've done the pre-form liner. I've done the free form with the soft liner. I've had bogs. I've put tropical fish in the ground just to see what would breed. A lot of them did, by the way. Seasonal tropical fish breeding was easier outdoors than it was indoors at times. But this thing, the custom, why not? Here's what I'm going for. Here's the product that I'm in pursuit of. A Appalachian garden. That's the fusion of Japanese culture and Appalachian culture. And we're at about the same geographical latitude, altitude. So a lot of that culture can be intermingled. So, excuse me. I'm thinking large, flat tabletop rocks in the garden, not necessarily on the pond, in the garden, Japanese maples, mountain laurel, rhododendron, Japanese black pine trees, bonsai trees here and there, a zen space, if you will. The koi, definitely Japanese. And so Appalachian, he said, I like that. I'm going to use it. And I said, feel free. Go ahead. Use that. Let's make it happen right here. He said, it's going to happen. One feature, is this a feature-rich pond? I mean, I can't tell you all the features tonight, but one feature the pond is going to have. Currently, I have like pavers, concrete stepping stones, a little path from the patio around it goes around to the driveway, but straight to the steps, the stairs that you saw in the sketch, up the elevation to a little seating area. The little stream is going to go beyond the seating area. So if you happen to go up You're still going to be right there. The stream is going to make a curve. It's amazing. Removing those pavers from the patio to the stairs, replacing it with a large flat rock that the water comes right up against. So you can sit on that rock, put your feet in the shallow water, feed the fish, an interaction area with the pond, 2 steps off the patio. It's going to be amazing. Instead of concrete, artificial pavers on pea gravel, which is nice. It's nice. You'll see as we start releasing footage. It's nice enough already. But to remove those artificial pavers and install a huge boulder, a flat boulder, that now is set in what becomes a Appalachian style garden, is a dream pond. It is making my dreams come true just to think about it. This is my dream pond. If you'll read the description of this live stream, I included just some beautiful verbiage to describe what my heart was feeling. Yeah, I'm going to have to temper myself to stay out of the pond builder's way so I don't slow the progress down. I've given you the gist of everything. We've selected Tim at Pond Country to build the pond. He is a YouTube guy. He is content creator friendly. We're going to have a great relationship. I'm going to look to build collabs with him every step of the way and beyond. If he decides he wants to make his YouTube channel stronger, I'm going to support him. I will tell you this, and this copy of the contract I printed off, it cut off, but he wrote at the bottom of the contract, plus 1 free beautiful koi. And he wants me to go down to his retail store near Charlotte, just north of Charlotte. And he's going to have a retail store in Knoxville. Right now, he's just doing the pond building, pond maintenance in Knoxville. And then that's going to be the site of their next storefront. They have 2 storefronts already in North Carolina. I'm going to go down and pick out a koi, beautiful koi. And that'll be another video I can share with you guys. So if you go to the website, the Pond Country website, you'll see they use the aquascape retail fish system, which involves big blue tubs similar to the IBC tubs. They have like 24 of those tubs. It's a big business. So I'm going to go down there and look at every fish and every tub, and I'm going to pick out one beautiful koi. And we're going to bring it back, put it in the pond. Maybe we'll name it Tim. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a naming contest. I don't know, but it's going to be awesome. Bullfrogs are definite. There are going to be bullfrogs in that pond. The neighbors have a swimming pool, and I think they get a tree frog every now and then, maybe a wood frog, spring peepers. Those are the loud ones. Yes, the green frogs, toads, southern toads. I think we're going to have a full complement of frogs around the pond. And there is a detention pond at the bottom of the hill, down at the other end of the neighborhood. So on a rainy night, if I collected several bullfrogs, I may relocate them temporarily, because I think the tadpoles are in the detention pond every year, and then they'd migrate to new areas. And I wouldn't mind them so much in the pond, but if they migrate from my pond to the neighbor's pool, then, frogs and pool skimmers don't have a really good history. So, yeah, I wouldn't encourage large frogs to hang around in my yard and be tempted to go into the neighbor's yard. But I'm okay with frogs. They're kind of cool. I used to be a frog farmer when I kept poison dart frogs. Those things were amazing. It was Mark Twain who said that he envied the life of a frog. They just sat around the pond all night and talked about sex. That's what Mark Twain said. Eat a live frog first thing in the morning, and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. There you go. How's your day? Better since I ate that live frog. We've talked about Pond Country being the contractor I selected out of a buffet of wonderful options. The certified aquascape contractors are all over the world. If you want a pond, I recommend one. Again, no compensation for me saying these things. I want to be clear on that. I did my own research. I built my own relationships. I know the people. I trust the people. I want the people to build my pond. And that's where we are after years of research and talking to pond builders and visiting Aqualand not once but twice. Greg, I wouldn't say Greg and I are great friends, but we certainly recognize each other, especially, with cameras in our hands doing our YouTube thing. And Ed Ballou, the pond professor, they're great people. They're genuine people. The product is legit. If you don't believe me, watch other people's video. Watch some of these third-party videos of people who have these ponds. And yeah, they do some things with celebrities. Good for them. They earn that. They work their way up the ladder by doing good work for everybody until people who wanted, hey, who's the best? Oh, it's those guys. Well, bring them up here. Aquascape lifestyle is the best. Yeah, and its lifestyle is that piece. They talk about the aquascape lifestyle. Okay? They build a pond that accommodates and enhances your life, period. How much did the pond cost? It was a huge investment. It was an investment that I've wanted for a long time. I didn't want it to be a bargain. Wasn't shopping for a bargain. I wanted my dream to come true. It's coming true. It has a price tag. It's going to have a value. When it's all said and done, there'll be some property value enhancement, definite lifestyle enhancement. It has a value. So could I have gotten it cheaper? Absolutely. Could I have cut corners? Yeah, I still could. Do I need a light under my waterfall? No. Is it going to make it more enjoyable? Yes. Give me the light. Could we have had a 6-foot stream instead of a 25-foot stream? Oh, yeah. But the Appalachian garden of my dreams is coming true. So it doesn't matter how much it cost. It was a price that I agreed on that was mutually beneficial to me, my property, my wife, my family, and my contractor. Everybody's happy. So it doesn't matter what the price tag is. And I have a drone to capture some footage. Oh, by the way, let's see. The start date is... Is it on this contract? No, it's on the invoice. But it is prior to July 15th. The start date is prior to July 15th, 4 to 6 day build, depending on weather. So we're going to have 4th of July with no heavy equipment in the yard, burgers on the grill. And then after we get relaxed from our 4th of July holiday, make way for the rock moving equipment, dirt removing equipment, because here it comes. We're building a pond. You love to watch the koi eat out there in the stock tank. I bet you're going to enjoy watching them eat in the big pond too. And she doesn't bother the koi. She loves to watch. She sticks her nose over the edge, just watches them. She wonders what I'm doing. What are you doing looking in that tub of water again, Dad? Come on, I'm right here. Why do you want to look at those fish? I've got a koi pond under contract. It's going to be built in my backyard. I've got a tub full of koi. I'm going to put the koi in the pond, and every day is going to be koi day. Coming up, we got the 4th of July, Independence Day. It's going to be a grand day here in America, and probably the rest of the world too. But here in America, we like to celebrate that day as the day we claimed our independence from another country. And I'm going to call it Koipendence Day this year. And I'm going to release the koi very soon into a pond. They'll be going from 300 gallons to about 5,000 gallons. It's going to be a good day. And the process is underway. We're almost there. You guys know that I'm excited about that. I appreciate your support. I'm getting virtual cards and letters all over the place. I appreciate your support. Thank you very much. And you're going to see some of the fruits of your effort in this koi pond when we start to reveal it. We got all the bells and whistles. We got the dream pond. It's a moonshot thanks to support like yours. I made a bonsai tree today. Let me show you. I got a new bonsai tree. Isn't that nice? Made that today. It's going to have a nice home out there by the new koi pond. I'll put it in a nice Japanese pot. Take good care of it. Maybe raise it for, who knows, 100 years or so. If you want to see what the before picture looks like on that guy, go to any big box DIY store, go back in the garden center, and look at the little 1-gallon juniper. But I've got a series of bonsai how-tos right here on the River Life YouTube channel. How to bonsai in 5 easy steps. It's no joke. You can do it. It's all about the koi today. We're celebrating Koi Pendants Day right here on the eve of the 4th of July. You know, I'm always talking about the fish and the art and the way I appreciate all of creation on the Instagram. That's River Life TN on Instagram. I put up a picture of another tree. I did a before and after. If you want to see an actual before and after, check out River Life TN Instagram. And I think I captioned it. I knew it was in there talking about the bonsai within the nursery stock, the inexpensive $9 1-gallon. This one is actually, and the one on Instagram is a Procumbens Nana. There you go. See how tiny that leaf is? Oh yeah, remembering the 25-foot waterfall. Kaboom. That's a big boom on Koi Pendants Day, a 25-foot. It's a stream with a series of waterfalls. Boom, 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 boom. It's like a mega pack of firecrackers, only they're all supercharged, and they're not loud, and they don't go boom. It's more like a babbling brook that just soothes your soul. Yeah, it's coming to my backyard. I'm going to share it with you on the YouTubes. Yeah, so we got Koi Pendants Day going on. We got the pond under contract. I did have to contact the pond contractor yesterday. The one call call before you dig. They came out, made some marks. They made some marks in my yard with the orange paint. Okay, the pond guy he made some marks that were amazing, white paint. These other guys came out, they used the orange paint. I'm not a fan of the orange paint. And it's not because it's orange paint, not because they painted my yard orange, but because they painted orange paint right through the middle of my white paint that was going to be a pond. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see the problem we have now? I have a pond painted on my yard, and then these major electrical feeds painted in the same space. So we're not going to be able to displace the electrical feed with the pond. Yeah, I wasn't happy about that. So my pond guy needed a picture. So segue, so much is going on. That's why I called it a party. I mean, it's nonstop. We got juniper limbs flying all over the place, orange paint going down in the yard. I got a drone. This week. I've been flying the drone around. I flew the drone to get an aerial shot of my yard so I could send the pond guy. We're gonna make the necessary adjustments. I don't know what that's going to look like. He doesn't know either. We just both know we're going to make the necessary adjustments. I'm a little bit unsettled because of that, because I'd already adopted the plan A. You know how it is. You know how life is. We had plan A. I was good with plan A. We're moving on to plan B, and no one knows what that is yet. River wife telling me it will be okay. Okay. All right, honey. I know it will. I was just having a little breakdown here with the whole community to support me, and they're with us. They're with us, honey. They're going to be with us. They don't care what happens. They're going to be with us. And so now I'm going to be surprised, just like you're going to be surprised. What kind of pond are you going to get? I don't know. I don't know, but I'll tell you this. On another note, can you believe it? I mean, there's so many things happening here. You thought that was just a tease clickbait party. No. Things are happening here that are very exciting and fun. It is a party. So many people involved. So many people in and out of the house. There's just so many loose ends right now. It'll be great to get something finished, anything finished. But right now, it's all in the works. It's in the churn. It's taking a toll. I mean, all of this takes time to manage, and other things going on in the meantime. The patio's getting screened in, pergola being built over the uncovered portion of the patio, all part of that garden project. The garage door's been ordered. The fish studio still needs a sink. We're moving aquariums in the fish studio, reducing the number of aquariums in the fish studio. Probably there'll be new aquariums in the fish studio. It's all just crazy. Here we are. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the koi party. I should be doing water changes. Yo, everything just so crazy. Why am I so damn lazy? Yeah. Lazy. Things are getting hazy. I gotta go do the show. I got my friends on the road looking for me. Gotta go. I should be doing water changes. I gotta roll up on the show them all the video. Yo, check it out. Hit the like. Hit the like. Hit that like. Psh, 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 psh. I didn't do any water changes. We're going to talk about that dream pond still being a dream pond because it hasn't been realized yet. I was so excited that tonight would be the first night we got to talk about my pond in the backyard. Lookie's bummed. No pond builders, no noisy equipment causing a ruckus in her backyard either. So we got to talk about that. I'm not really bummed. I mean, just a thing that happened. There's a delay. And just right up front, we're going to start Monday. Okay. Thursday, Friday. Weekend wouldn't have been worked probably anyway. So it's a couple days delayed, 48 hours. But it's like Christmas Eve. You find out, oh man, we're not going to do Christmas for another couple of days. What? So I get to be excited and have anticipation for a couple more days. That's all. I just get to be better delayed than canceled. 100,000%. Absolutely. Yeah. So I just get to be like a little kid waiting for Christmas presents for another couple of days. But the bad news is I don't get to share, the groundbreaking news with you guys tonight. So next week, man, I'm looking forward to bringing you the content. We were going to talk about the groundbreaking, the ribbon cutting, the flyover, the dignitaries that we had lined up. Nothing really like that, but in my heart is just so excited. It might as well have been, a 5-star parade. I'm going to be excited for a couple more days, and then Monday we'll do all of that exciting get started kind of stuff, and then by Wednesday we should be about mid-build. So I'm going to be busy getting some footage. What I've decided to do is to break out the footage of the pond build into chapters, so to speak, of videos. So at the end of the pond build, I'm going to sew all the chapters together. So there will be a book a full-length video featuring the whole book of the pond build, and then along the way, chapters. And I've decided to release the chapters at a rate of 1 a week. We've got an introduction next week, and then the weeks that follow are going to be chapters. At the end and conclusion of the pond build, we're going to put all of those chapters together for the book, and we'll have one feature-length video of all of the pond builds. So I'm making a playlist. Basically, I'm a playlist builder, and this playlist is going to be about Dream Pond, my dream pond, currently on hold, stalled, postponed, put off, delayed. Okay, enough of those words. Wow, yeah. Ugh. 48 hours, Thursday, Friday, then Monday. Listen, I can hear the heavy equipment backing in, the clanging of the laydown yard, the barking of the dog at the strangers out back, the mess, the dust, the birds having to just fuss because they can't get to their feeder, the neighbor's dog really upset. But the skies are clear. It's going to be okay. The skies are clear. Just came right to you with the news. The pond has been delayed. But now let's talk about the delayed pond. I'm accumulating landscape material. Okay, so everything works out. Everything works out. The landscape material was delayed a little bit getting here. Good thing we didn't have everything put into place. Boulders, thousands of tons of boulders. That may be an exaggeration. Thousands of pounds, several tons of boulders, are a little more difficult to work around than just driving with a piece of, a little bobcat or some front end loader with an 8-foot tree, bald tree, 400 pounds. Just take it right up the hill, drop it where it needs to be. So everything's going to work out. I mean, listen, let me tell you, while we're talking about that and before I forget, you've heard my term. If you haven't, let me just say this. I've used a term to describe the concept of the garden we're building around my koi pond. It's called Jappalachian. That's a fusion of Japanese culture and Appalachian culture. And it works well because we're kind of at the same latitude. So we can get by with sharing some plants. So I have for my Jappalachian garden, Japanese black pine, Japanese maple, hinoki cypress, couple different varieties, ginkgo. Okay. I'm also going to have mountain laurel, rhododendron, probably some hardy azalea, and river birch. So maybe ponderosa pine. No, that's a bonsai tree. I do have a ponderosa pine bonsai tree. Oh, I have what they call a thunderhead Japanese black pine, big bushy foliage, really cool. So I got all of that going in, some Appalachian native plants, some Japanese plants, going to fuse them together with some huge boulders. I'm talking Zen. I'm talking Zen garden. I can't wait to share it with you. The plants are coming in. I got 5 more trees today. I've got some aquatic plants coming, some living sphagnum moss, about 5 varieties of iris, both native and cultivars, some maidenhair moss. Oh, some doll eyes, baneberry. Check out the fruit of baneberry, Baneberry. They call it doll eyes. It's so cool. We have it growing wild in the mountains around here. Plants, they're accumulating, plus plants that I get in the pond kit. The pond kit, by the way, coming in from Pond Country. Check it out. Yes, I have my Pond Country colors on. I love Pond Country. My friend Tim Fagan owns Pond Country here in service area of East Tennessee. He's based out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Great guy. You're going to learn about him in a couple of weeks. I'm going to dedicate a video just to introduce you guys to him as we go forward with the pond build. You'll know who's in charge. I contacted several contractors, including Greg Whitstock of Aquascape Inc., Ed Ballou, and the certified aquascape contractors in my area. Talked to all of these guys. Very clearly decided that I was going to have an aquascape system pond. I've been to Aqualand up there outside Chicago a couple times. Hands down, my opinion, it's the best equipment, the best system. Okay. It's the best system. They know how to put it together. Greg Whitstock is the manufacturer, the dealer, the wholesaler, and also the installer, the only manufacturer that also installs the equipment. So it's a really strong customer connection. And they've got the system figured out because they want your experience to be so positive. They want it to enhance your life. They really do. And they accomplish that by building a pond that looks fantastic. The surface, spot on. You've seen pictures. There's all kinds of pond builds by these guys on the internet. They just finished a build. I don't know how many different YouTube creators covered at Shaquille O'Neal's house. Shaq's got an awesome koi pond now. It looks great. It lasts for a long time. We don't hear a lot of complaints. We don't get bad ratings. It's good stuff. And it stays crystal clear. If they were building these things, then they turned pea soup green, they would have never made it to the stature they are now in the business world. So they've got it figured out. And I mean, the more you learn about these ponds, what's that? Oh, you do that? Yeah, and if that doesn't work, we do this. And we've also built this in. And there's like 8 or 10 checks, you know, by the time you get to the end of the system with 5 or 6 options that you can add in addition to those to make sure you don't get pea soup and that you get a beautiful aquatic experience, that you want to hear the water trickle off the waterfall. You want to see your koi swim at the bottom of the 3-foot pond because it's crystal clear and you can. And that's, you know, Pond Country. They're like, for over 5 years, they've been a top 3 pond installer for aquascapes. We're not talking about rookies here. Okay. I'm very fortunate to have found such a qualified contractor. And again, I talked to several contractors. You got to feel comfortable with your contractor. You got to vet them. You got to make sure competency is number one. You feel comfortable with them. You feel comfortable about the whole timeline. And at the end of the day, all of the people I talked to, they met every check mark. Okay. Here, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Here's the spoiler alert. Why did I choose Pond Country? Pond Country was available before everyone else. I would have hired any of the people that I talked to, and that's because I met Greg Whitstock several years ago. He at Aquatic Experience in Chicago. He invited me over to Aqualand. Riverwife and I went over, had a great time. Aptly named Aqualand. About a 1 million gallon pond outside, a whole array of display ponds on the inside, a couple of more outside, all the water features functioning, just beautiful. I mean, you just fall in love with the pond lifestyle right there is what happens. You fall in love with it. And then you have a retail outlet right there with all the equipment. You can go look, check out the specs. You can talk to anybody walking by about how the system works. Everyone knows. Very helpful, very kind. And then you get it. That's why these people are so happy, whether they like koi or not, or whether they like a natural environment. They love that. Water's magic, especially on your property. And they love that water in their lifestyle. And this system, I'd seen it for years and made friends with the price. You know, got over the sticker shock, started doing some justification. Well, if I built on the cheap and then I added these features, wow, then I'm going to be approaching that price line and I'm having to do a lot of work and it's not warranted and I don't have a service company attached to all of that. So yeah, so it's like a fine automobile. If you can afford it, it's like a Dyson vacuum. If you can afford it, you know, yeah, go for it. It's worth it. If it's not within your budget, don't hurt yourself financially, for heaven's sake. The pond is estimated at a 4 to 6 day build. There's going to be an introduction Wednesday prior to any building starting. So, month and a half or so, it's going to be pond content. And then I'm going to make the River Life YouTube channel pond playlist. So you can go back and it'll just be there. It'll be on the shelf. Anyone looking to build a pond, any particular thing, hardscape, landscape, liner installation, excavation, cleanup, whatever, anything you want to watch for entertainment, it's going to be compartmentalized that way. If you just want to pop some popcorn and watch the whole pond being built, we're going to make one big video out of it. And my friend Tim Fagan at Pond Country, you can go ahead and check that out. They have a YouTube channel, massive scale jobs down to little jobs. I mean, they have water features that don't even have ponds. A Pondless Waterfall. This basically, they dig a hole, they fill it up with air space and gravel. They fill it with water, but you don't see the water. You see hardscape. And then they have some sort of a spillover bowl or a large basalt rock that's drilled through the center that's bubbling, or urns of different styles with water bubbling and dripping over them. Lit at night, amazing, unbelievable. Haven't decided about ornamental stoneware, Japanese lantern, because we're sinking a ton into this thing. I mean, we're investing in improving our property for forever. This is permanent. So there'll be, along with the pond project, we're going to screen in our patio so we can spend more evenings out there. The bugs come in at night, You members, again, you're on the leading edge here. Just off the backside of the property is a wooded lot. So we get a lot of bugs, and we're going to screen in the patio. And you guys will find out what I'm talking about if you'll come to the premiere. Because the pond was delayed, the pond construction start date was stalled. We did an introductory video that doesn't include any construction. So you'll see what I'm talking about, the way the property's laid out. And we're going to screen in the patio to keep the bugs off of us, and we'll get more pond time in the evening. And then off the patio, the uncovered portion of the patio, we're going to build a pergola. Okay. And it's going to have a lot of right angles, a very Japanese flair to it. And we're going to build an entrance over the gate into the backyard that will resemble the pergola. So lots of Japanese flair, lots of Japanese style, and the plants that go in the garden. Now, the ornamental hardscape, it's up in the air. I don't know. I have definitely been attracted to some hand-carved Japanese lanterns. This is like a large rock that someone took a lot of time and chiseled into a lantern. Absolutely amazing. On Monday, the pond build begins in earnest by Pond Country. I do want you to check out Pond Country YouTube channel. Wow, the scope of the things they do. And they're not, listen, their primary function is not a YouTube channel. Their primary function is pond building, and they are busy. These guys aren't the Maytag men. They're not twiddling their thumbs waiting for the phone to ring. They're out there building ponds, and it's pond building season. So they do some pond builds, and they upload some video content. I mean, they've been doing it for years. So there's lots of little videos on their page, including some of the retail space that's pretty impressive. Oh, wow. The volume of fish that they sell, unbelievable. So yeah, they're more pond builders than they are YouTube channel. And because they do YouTube, however, my buddy Tim at Pond Country, he understands the struggle, the grind. And so he's on board with allowing me to film and participate. He's going to participate in the making of the video content. So Wednesday, the Wednesday after next. So if Wednesday is the 15th and the 22nd. 22nd will be chapter 1. Chapter 1 of the pond build is going to feature the contractor. You'll get to know more about Tim and what a great guy he is. He's just awesome. And I swear, I don't know where he gets the energy to build these ponds. I mean, hot. It's hot out there and it is labor intensive. And he just go. So I admire him. I respect him. I don't know where he gets his energy. I'm impressed. And the work he does. I went to a job site in my area to see, firsthand, not the video, not a testimonial. I stood on the ground. I walked around the pond. He showed me the features. I filmed it. So in that Wednesday, the 22nd video, I'll include some on the ground footage of what he had done at another residence that helped me to know I had hired the right guy. That was really close to my vision, my dream. He got it and he can make it happen. Boom. There it was on the ground. So, wow. I know it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Check later. I know. And it is. And Monday is the later. We thought it was going to be yesterday. We're going to be talking about it today, popping corks and showing pictures and giving virtual high fives. We're going to do that. It's just going to wait until Monday. And then by Thursday, we'll have, so much to talk about. So be sure you come back next week when the pond build isn't stalled anymore, but it's underway. It's in the ground. It's going to be in the ground. Let me know the kind of things you want to see in a pond build. I know what I want to film. I know what I want to make content. I know what I want to present to you guys. I don't want to miss anything that you'd like to see. So leave me a comment. So here's what I've got in mind for the content, the series. I've got already in the bank. We have the introduction. You're going to see that Wednesday. Just a short little teaser introduction. Hey, we're building a pond. Come back here. We're going to show some more videos. But it involves some really cool drone footage. I'm not kidding. I enjoy it. Yeah, I'm biased. Okay. But I'm telling you, it's cool. And then we're going to cover the contractor. I wanted to make sure I did a video about the contractor, not because Tim's great, because he is, but just wherever you are, it's important that you pick the right contractor. Make sure you're comfortable with your contractor. You ask the right questions and you feel comfortable about every phase. Make sure you do that. So I felt strongly about that. So the first feature length video is the contractor, and you're going to get to know my guy, Tim, at Pond Country, and you're going to love him. He's a great guy. And then I thought some things about the build you would be interested in. I would definitely be interested in filming would be the excavation. Okay. Flat ground going down 3 feet. Right. And these things are so cool. They're terraced. Oh, I didn't mean to hit that, but they're shelved. So you have basically outlined layers in the water column, and marginal plants can grow at different levels. You have shelves for other plants. You have different levels of koi safety, when they get on the shelf. And then, by the way, a fish cave in the bottom. So like a cover stone, the fish can go under to hide from predators above. They like to hang out there when they overwinter. We're going to have a fish cave. Did I mention I was excited? All right. So excavation and infrastructure, the liner, the pump, the skimmer, the filter, the lights, okay, all the infrastructure, the hardscape installation. These guys are not just putting a liner on top of the dirt and then piling rocks on top of it. They're actually carving the dirt, the earth, and placing thousands of pounds of boulders into the side of the earth so they don't roll off and roll down into the pond. They look like the earth has formed around them. They're cut in. The installation of the hardscape, I thought, would be a very interesting story to tell. And the landscape installation, I'm not going to give you the inventory again. We've already covered that. Beautiful Appalachian plants and Japanese plants, lending us the term Japalachian garden. It's going to be so zen. We are going to zen out. I'm going to forget to do a live stream one night. Where's Rack? He's out there zenning on the patio, listening to the water trickle down the waterfall. 25-foot stream of waterfalls. I can't wait. I'm going to share. I'm not going to get too zen that I don't share. I want to share this with you. I want you to enjoy. You've already invested in it. I want you to enjoy this with me. Okay, the landscape installation, and then opening day, maybe koi added, some koi footage in the pond, going from the koi. Wow, talk about a graduation day, going from a 300-gallon stock tank to a 5,000-gallon in-ground pool. That's an upgrade. I mean, my koi, they're nice size koi. I mean, but they look enormous. Like you could saddle them and ride them in this stock tank. But in a 5,000-gallon pond, they might look miniature. I'll let you decide. I'm going to show it to you. And then maybe this is just more of for completion, we've got this continuum of events, maybe clean up and move out. I do want to I want to have a couple of photographs, if not a short video of how different things look after everything's in place. And then the contractor does all the detail work, sweeps out toward the gate, takes everything away, and then voila, you're left with your masterpiece. So I think that might make an interesting piece. I don't know. Let me know what you think. And then definitely from that becomes the timeline snapshot. Boom. Then take a picture in winter. The leaves fall off the deciduous trees, maybe some snow on the evergreen. The pond is going to keep running. There's no winterizing these ponds. They run all winter. Now, that could be subject to change. I mean, the fish tank barn, Mike Howell, my friend up there, member here at the River Life YouTube channel, he may not be able to run his pond year round. They may get a frost line that you would have to be considerably deeper than we're going in order to allow your pond not to be winterized. This one's going to run all winter. It freezes a little on the fringe. I mean, if the top freezes, I've had it happen in the stock tanks before that are above ground. We're going to get some geothermal advantage, from the heat of the earth being in the ground. We're going to let it run all winter. But what a photograph. Here's what it looked like in July. Here's what it looked like in January. Here's what it looked like in April. And then next July, so we do basically what I just described was seasonal photographs. Okay, put some background music on there, maybe some drone flights, and we've got a 4 seasons view to emphasize the point of what the pond looks like when it's a year old. Baby plants, smaller fish, versus a year later, growing plants, blooming plants, growing fish. Okay, see what I'm saying? Day one of the finished pond versus 1-year-old pond, 2-year-old pond, 3-year-old pond. Wow. And so, yeah, every year add to that album. It's like a kid, Yeah. It graduates to the next grade, the next level every year. So, and I'm sure there's a curve until every plant matures and it goes, they go through their blooming cycle, reproductive cycle, whatever they do. Maybe a major branch breaks under the weight of snow, or heaven forbid, a lightning strike. But the changes then are recorded for our purpose of entertainment. And we record that, document it, and store it, compartmentalize it into the pond playlist. So that's basically my concept, is to build a pond playlist. I need a pond in order to do that. So basically, I've got one ordered. I'm signed up. I paid half. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm waiting for Monday, 48 more ounces. So it's already Thursday late. It is 11:17 Thursday night. Friday, all right, one more day without a pond, then the weekend, and then Monday, the pond starts. Once the pond is complete, absolutely, we're going to do pond chill videos in 2 flavors, okay? One flavor is going to be 25-foot long pond waterfall stream, okay? Different angles, different fades, soft music, flowing water, okay? The second flavor is koi, okay? Underwater koi footage, koi chill. I'm so stoked about doing some koi chill videos. I've wanted this pond for a long time. Most of you know this. The desire, it hasn't been pent up because I've been exercising it the best I could. A plastic form pond here, a plastic form pond there, a little dugout pond with some liner over there. And then finally discovering by accident, basically, backed into Greg Whitstock on the floor of Aquatic Experience. Turns out he's the pond guy. I learned that he started keeping turtles as a teenager. He said his ponds that he would dig out in his backyard, bigger the pond, the happier the turtle. No, his ponds were so bad, the turtles would leave. Every year, the turtles would leave. He said, I'm tired of this. I'm going to figure this out. The turtles are going someplace they like better. Why don't they like this? He figured it out. He figured it out ecologically. He learned to work with nature, not against nature. Then he started manufacturing his process so that he could sell it in mass quantity, and that's what he's doing. And it's a fantastic product, a process that works. Turtles aren't leaving anymore. Matter of fact, when you see the display pond, some of them have turtles in them, and he has little turtle snacks. You can feed the turtles a snack. Oh man, I love so much about this. We've lived in this neighborhood for several months now, and in the raining season of the fall, the frogs were coming out of the detention pond. There were big bullfrogs every rain. I can hear them. They're going to come all the way up the hill to my backyard. They're going to park their little green selves right around my pond, and they're going to talk about it. And it's going to be great. So yes, for a long time, I've wanted a pond. I've had several small ones, but this is the pond. I mean, it's going to become my entire backyard, Jappalachian garden. And I'm just going to be zenning, as River Wife said. I'm going to be zenning. I'm going to be sharing. I'm going to be sharing with you. Listen, let me tell you this. If it was the coolest place in my whole imagination, it wouldn't be cool for long if I didn't have anyone to share it with. The community we're building, the tightness that we share, the strength that we build here in the Community Tank Facebook group and the River Life Art Facebook page, that is an outlet for me to share all of the good things that I experience in life and in this fish keeping hobby and in this pond project that's coming up. I mean, if you take away the sharing of the project, a considerable piece of my desire, motivation, excitement is gone. Am I still going to enjoy it in measure? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not going to not like it anymore because I can't tell anybody about it. I'm just saying that being able to share, that includes a lot of facets on that diamond of an idea. And that diamond wouldn't shine nearly as bright without having all of those facets. I just made that up on the fly. That was beautiful, actually. Kill me. But that's the truth. So when I get to build the lifelong desire mega pond, I got an outlet of people to share it with. I've got a group of strong supporters that are already pouring into the project so that it can have the this and the that. I mean, I'll tell you what comes to mind. The stock stream is 6 feet for the pond kit that I bought. Thanks to your support, I was able to extend the 6-foot stream and waterfall to a 25-foot waterfall. And it's not a 25-foot sheer, it's a 25-foot stream with a series of terraced waterfalls. That is awesome. Okay, that's an X factor, 4+ X factor. What I would have had versus what we're all going to be able to share now because of your support. Thank you very much. Tim of Pond Country is a master certified pond designer. And I said, here is my dream. He got his head wrapped around it, started telling me what would work. And that's exactly what I'm picturing in my mind. You've got it, Tim. I felt so comfortable giving him a general concept, even though it's detailed in my mind. I gave him some general guidelines. He started describing the details in my mind before I could even tell him what they were. And it's because I was imagining a very natural looking Zen type garden, Japanese garden. He's done it, for years. So what's my utopia is his day-to-day job. He does it. And after doing it for so long, he's gotten really good at it. He's handy at it. When I went to the job site, I was like, wow. I mean, this was anybody's yard, USA. It was on a bank. He carved out a bank, built some very natural looking boulder rock outcroppings. And then that stream that they had, I mean, it was a 15 or 20 foot long stream, kind of meandering, the water falling different directions, different times. And then he told me where he had the lights hidden. I couldn't see them. I was looking at the thing. I couldn't see them because they're under the waterfall. The waterfall's backlit. And then they have another spotlight that hits it from the outside. And even at night, it looks natural. The dang thing looks natural, even though there's artificial light coming from 2 different sources.
Hello, river lifers. Cannot wait to get Rack a pond. Let him enjoy this lifestyle. Can't wait to see his expression, the tears in his eyes, and the hug I get when we turn his backyard into this right here. So come along for the ride, enjoy the experience, and we'll talk to you soon.
I've always wanted a pond in my yard. I always knew it would add to the ecosystem that already existed there. I even launched a few false starts with some of the small preformed plastic ponds and some smaller ponds that I would dig and lay some liner in. Now I'm ready to launch a pond project beyond my highest dreams. I'm ready to go farther than I've ever seen before in any of my visions about having a pond. And I can tell you, what I see is already beautiful. This video and several after this will be about the building of my dream pond, my vision for the best pond that I can imagine. And if you're watching this, you may have been a part of my ability to have this dream pond. The River Life YouTube channel has members that support this dream, and River Life Art on Facebook has art buyers that support this dream, super chatters on live streams on the River Life YouTube channel. All of these people that support me with donations and purchases and other financial support and all kinds of encouragement, whether it's hitting the like button or sending a nice note or a letter in the mail. I love all of you guys for all of your support, and I can't wait to tell you the story about my dream pond that's a much higher vision than I could have ever imagined. Just as the sky and the mountains and the fields and the trees are naturally beautiful. This dream pond that we're going to build is also going to be naturally beautiful. We're going to incorporate some local stones and boulders. We're going to include natural flora, and we're going to borrow some botanical ideas from our friends in Japan. I'm calling the fusion of this garden around my dream pond Appalachian style. We're going to use Appalachian and Japanese styles together to make the most gorgeous garden around a koi pond that you've ever seen. Several videos on the River Life YouTube channel feature my koi collection, and they're going to be upgraded from a temporary 300-gallon stock tank to a 5,000-gallon in-ground pond. It's about 12 feet by 20 feet and 3 feet deep at the maximum depth, and it will also include a 25-foot waterfall stream just to the left of those stairs you see there. It's going to be beautiful, and I'm glad you're along for the journey. Let me tell you the story of my dream pond build. The first time I met Tim Fagan, owner of Pond Country, a master certified pond installer and designer, I knew he was a people person. My question to him on a job site near my area was, "Tim, what are you doing to improve the lifestyle of your customers?" Here's what he had to say.
Absolutely we are. I mean, look at what we've got to deal with. Customer walks out, their backyard has been a barren green area, barren weed patch, whatever it is. They get to look and see this, and that first reaction, the tears in the eyes, the emotion that comes out of somebody. Comments like I got last night on this one: when I'm stressed out, now I have a place to come out and just let that water wash away those feelings of stress. There's nothing like it. I mean, we're not just building landscaping, we're changing somebody's life experience day in and day out. You don't have to go to the beach to get this. Come sit in the backyard and just enjoy life every day rather than stressing.
And just like that, I knew I'd found my pond contractor. Tim's a great guy. I've enjoyed talking with him. We've had several phone conversations, exchanged several emails, met in person a couple of times. That's all a part of choosing a good contractor. And this is a serious build. This is no small project. This is a permanent change in my property. And I wanted to make sure I got the right guy, someone who shared my vision, someone that was making me feel comfortable all along the timeline. I talked to so many different contractors. I talked to Greg Whitstock, the owner and founder of aquascapeinc, and Ed Ballou, both working up there at headquarters in St. Charles, Illinois, right outside of Chicago. The name of the business is aquascapeinc. They've named the building Aqualand, aptly. About 1 million gallon pond up there on property, and so many display ponds, an array of display ponds, both inside and outside. All the water features. It's beautiful. Mostly glass building. It's like a Google workplace for the water feature building industry. So I talked to those guys. They're a little busy. They weren't especially available to come on down to Mountain Home, Tennessee to do a pond build. But I talked to several contractors, and they all had their pluses and minuses, strengths and weaknesses. And what it came down to for me was I knew that I was going to build an Aquascapes Inc. type pond. I just believe that's a superior product, and the superior price, that's just worth it. This, again, is going to be a permanent installation. I wanted it to be right. I wanted to be happy with it when I was done. And all of the certified aquascape contractors, the CACs, that were referred to me by Aquascape, they have a fantastic website and referral system. All you do is give some basic information, and then all the CACs that service your area get in touch with you. It's fantastic. great customer service from the word go. And I wasn't really surprised. I didn't manage my expectations very well when I learned that the CACs that contacted me were booked. I mean, this is pond building season. They're not the Maytag men twiddling their thumbs waiting for the phone to ring. They're out there building ponds. And when I got the hang of this, okay, I'm kind of getting acclimated to the deal of trying to find a pond contractor. I recognized that I wanted my pond sooner rather than later, having decided that all of these CACs had fantastic training. They were using the best equipment, in my opinion, in the whole industry, and seeing the results. They're very active. Aquascapes and the CACs active on YouTube. You can watch pond builds all day long. Some of the more popular ones include celebrities. I have really enjoyed watching the Aquascapes team build Shaquille O'Neal's pond. Shaq has an awesome koi pond at his mansion in Atlanta, built by and well covered on YouTube by the Aquascapes build team. So I knew it was going to be one of those guys. And then it just came down to I need it sooner rather than later. And Pond Country had an opening like a month ahead of the next company that I talked to. So that was the deciding factor. I get my pond a month earlier, and I'm anxious to share it with you guys. I want to make a series of video, a whole playlist of this build. And that was the driving factor of the choice, because all the contractors in the Aquascapes Inc. network were just so competent, so kind. I did feel comfortable speaking with them about my build. My vision partially included things I'd seen they'd done in the past, so it wasn't a stretch for anyone. They all enjoyed learning my term Jappalachian, which is the fusion of course, Japanese and Appalachian cultures when it comes to gardening. And I'm excited to just break that out and show you guys and stop talking about it, show you guys. I mean, you can look through my catalog of videos on the River Life YouTube channel, and you'll find the koi videos, the bonsai videos, how to bonsai in 5 easy steps. I recommend you try it. It's a lot of fun if you haven't. Now's a good time. Try a bonsai. I've laid it out for you in 5 easy steps. But the Jappalachian style piques everyone's interest that I've mentioned it to. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. So I first evaluated my contractors on competency. And the more I learned about the aquascape, certified aquascape contractors, the more comfortable I felt about their competency. I mean, I know the owner of the company, Greg Whitstock, the pond guy, through YouTube and meeting him at some national fish conventions, and him inviting me to Aqualand to check out the place. I've been there a couple of times. No doubt in my mind. That's the way I wanted to go. So competency was the first check mark. Definitely the CACs met that. Then I had to feel comfortable. Emails, phone calls, no negatives. And then it came down to calendaring. Okay. One guy said I can do it here. Another guy said I can do it here. I looked at the calendar. One was a month sooner. Why would I wait a month to get a competency that I'm comfortable with, a personality that I've already kind of gotten acquainted with virtually anyway? Let's just go for it. Let's go for it. So I reached out to Tim Fagan at Pond Country. He serves my area, and the family has a couple of retail stores, and they have several areas in the Southeast. You can call and see if that includes you. They're plugged into a network of people. If they don't serve you, they can give you direction. Again, hit that Aquascapes Inc. website and use their CAC contractor directory. You're going to get an immediate response. Mine was less than 24 hours when I filled out the questionnaire online, which was pretty good, because when I did it, it was like after work hours. It was late one night, and then sometime during the next afternoon, I had responses in my email inbox. So it was a pretty good response. Anyway, I chose Tim. Tim came to see me. We walked around the backyard. He caught the vision. He got it right away. We came to general terms. He had me go look at another job. I mean, you've already seen the video. I met him on a job site. I saw firsthand the work that he was doing. Absolutely no surprise. Loved it. Yes, bring something like that over here. I want a longer stream. I want this move this way. No problem. We can customize it. Everything was great. You've seen a couple of clips now with my contractor, Tim Fagan of Pond Country. I think you'll agree he's a very personable guy, obviously very competent. I think you're going to enjoy getting to know him better as he's agreed to allow me to film the process of my pond build. Check out the Pond Country YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description. They've got some massive projects. I'm looking forward to it. I'm filming already. I mean, I'm doing videos. I don't even have a pond yet. But we're gonna film the good, the bad, the ugly, the fun. Hopefully not the rain. That's where I'm hoping not for rain. I'd rather not have footage of it raining on my pond build. Hopefully I didn't just jinx the pond build. You know what I mean. Let me tell you what I mean. This Tim guy, I'm telling you, he's good people. Now, this isn't a paid advertisement. I'm not an affiliate. I'm just telling you, based on my research and experience, what I feel. Now, what I fully expect is to be 100% satisfied, not only with the relationship that Tim and I have as contractor-client, but also with the final product of the pond and the garden. After I've achieved that level of expectation, at that point, I am definitely available to be an affiliate for Pond Country. If I have the product, I enjoy the product, of course I'm going to want to share the product. So, but I say that just for transparency and clarity right now. I'm not an affiliate. Tim sent me this shirt. I've signed the contract, paid 50% of the contract in advance. I wouldn't say it was an influencer in my decision. All the decisions had been made. Then he gifted me the shirt. Thank you very much, Tim. It's awesome, by the way. I noticed it's the same one he's wearing. So I feel like I'm part of the team, you know. He's taken me in. I've taken him in. We're gonna build this pond. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna share it with you guys. I hope you like it. Comment below if you've got a pond and some of the things you like about it. What are some of the things I have to look forward to? If you've got a question about a pond, well, this is my first full-size pond, but you can put it down there. If I don't have an answer, I'll ask Tim while he's here. I'll be in touch with the aquascapeinc network. I'll find an answer to your question, and I'll learn something if I don't already know the answer. So if you like this video, hit the like button, share it with someone else who might like this type of video. It's going to be a fun ride. I'm already having a blast. I hope you are. Thank you so much for all your support. I hope you do enjoy this. Get in touch with Tim. See if you guys can work out a pond deal for yourselves, or if you've got supply needs or pond questions, hit him up. I'm going to turn it back over to Tim now and let him tell you how you can get in touch with him. And I'm going to see you soon on the next one. Until then, why don't you get out there and see it, love it, and live it.
You can reach us at pondcountry.com, or you can reach me at 865-414-3664, Pond Country of Tennessee. Check us out on YouTube under Pond Country. Check us out on our Facebook pages, and then, of course, the website, pondcountry.com.
To the live stream where we're going to talk about 20 tons of stone. That is a lot of stone. If you want to know how much is 20 tons of stone, take a look at my Instagram. That's RiverLifeTN. RiverLifeTN on Instagram. On my Instagram, I've got a little video up of the other 10 tons of stone. That's what 10 tons of stone look like. The other half are in my backyard in a hole in the ground that's eventually going to be the dream pond. Look at that behemoth forklift there. Turns out That thing was the wimp. There you go. Spoiler alert about the whole dream pond build. It's amazing. It's happening. It's going on. My backyard is full of a pond build. I mean, it's a mess. It's a watch the video. You'll see when I say mess, everything, if I mentioned we're going to have rocks, well, now 20 tons of rocks. And so when I say mess, the backyard has been ripped into a mud hole, and it is a muddy mess. That's all. You're gonna have to watch the video. You'll see exactly what I mean. But this is a massive scale residential project. The koi are doing fantastic, including the award winners, the 2 award winners, and they're very affectionate koi. I stick my hand in the water, I slap the top of the water, and stick my hand in the water. They come up and give me little koi kisses, and basically they're begging for food, right? But it's cool. I dig it. So the pond is going to be a koi facility. All right, duh, Captain Obvious. But the pond build is the content, right? I can't put the koi in the pond to build. Okay, we got to build the dream pond, then put the koi in. So the content right now is the dream pond build. And if you're following along, I've recently acquired a drone that has come in really handy while documenting a pond build. This thing is absolutely crazy. Basically, it flies itself and has a super sharp camera. My contractor, who a little bit about now, if you watched Wednesday's video, I introduced you to the contractor. He says we're going to run the pond. There's no winterization. We're running the pond all winter. You get a little ice on the edges, maybe some on the surface, but you're going to get a lot of geothermic aid in keeping the water. The water is like below the frost line. So I guess below the frost line, Earth's temperature, like in caves or whatever, goes to about 58 degrees, which is kind of cool when you think about it. You learn to harness that. That's pretty neat. I want to show you those rocks again. I mean, 20 tons, that's impressive, right? I wish you could see my backyard right now. I'm going to show it to you in a video. Check out, let's see. Oh, you're going to get a great view Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, we're going to have here we go. We're going to have a premiere. Take a look at this. This is the other half of rock. That's the Pond Country Kia over there. That's a behemoth of a forklift. You're going to hear about that in the next video. Look at those rocks, pallet after pallet after pallet after pallet. That's 10 tons of rock, 10 tons of stone. The other 10 tons is in my backyard. Okay, that's what 10 tons of stone. No, we're not fooling around. It's a dream pond. We got 20 tons of stone. I'm impressed. I hope you are. It's kind of fun if you are. If you're not, it's okay. No biggie. Maybe you work at a quarry. 20 tons is like chump change. But wow, 20 tons of big boulders in my yard. I've never had 20 tons of boulders in my yard before, and it's for a wonderful cause. This pond is amazing. KG Tropical in the house says, just watch the video you sent during the stream. Wow, that's going to be the nicest pond on YouTube. Well, thank you for saying that, John. And if it is, that's great. That's not my goal. My goal is to have my dream satisfied, and I fully expect 100% satisfaction. I mean to tell you, I've dreamed big on this one. I pulled out all the stops. You'll learn more. I don't want to give all the spoilers. I'm just telling you, you can already tell the scale. I live in a very nice neighborhood with a little house and a little postage stamp lot. Whatever the standard size is, maybe 10 feet on either side. And the video that you saw of the 10 tons of rocks I shot from my front porch. So relatively short front yard. So I was thinking the scale, I was thinking more of a goldfish pond than a koi pond. This thing It's going to be a backyard, complete backyard, Appalachian garden with a feature koi pond. Unbelievable. It's going to be epic. That's the word. Standing by it. Check out the video Wednesday. I really believe you're going to agree. It's epic. 20 tons of stone. Let me give you some more numbers. Here you go. Here's some numbers. 20 tons of stone, about 50 yards of dirt removed, about 5,000 gallons of water when it's finished, 25-foot-long stream and series of waterfalls. I was super impressed with how much 20 tons of stone was. I mean, it was a truck and another truck and another truck, and that huge forklift was just busy, just taking pallets, tons of boulders off of trucks, stacking them up, hauling them to the backyard. And then this is the part that's impressive. The guys, Tim Fagan, the contractor you've learned about through another video, those rocks, those boulders, the large, I mean, I don't know what they weigh, 400 pounds. Each one, they use a heavy-duty boulder strap moved by the bucket on an excavator to move it over. So these two men wrestle a strap around each boulder. You saw how many half of them look like. And then they place it in the pond with such finesse and care. It's like sometimes you think you're watching a ballet instead of a construction project. They place it exactly where they want it. Then they wrestle the strap off of it. And then they wiggle it into its final resting spot. Lather, rinse, repeat for 20 tons. Every boulder that you saw handled. I mean, hats off to these people in this mid-July heat. They're beasts. They are just beasts. I don't know how they do it, but I admire them, I respect them, and I certainly appreciate them. I don't think I'm not physically able to do it now. If I were, wow, I just can't imagine the salary or wage I'd be willing to do that for all day. Now, I am happy to provide them with a cooler full of ice and Gatorade and water. And I'm looking for more measures. I mean, the rocks are heavy and the pond is out there in the sun. I mean, it's just kind of the nature of the business, but wow, man, those guys are working hard. And I mean, the truck that brought the boulders, I mean, it's parked in the street. So from the street to exactly where they go in the pond is up to these pond builders. And they're doing a great job. I admire them. Hats off to Pond Country. In case you didn't know, I should have said that more often. Pond Country. They're based out of Knoxville, Tennessee, and they're also down in North Carolina around the Triad, Charlotte. Serving the Carolinas and Tennessee. Give them a ring. And if you're not in their service area, they're part of the Aquascape certified contractors, certified aquascape contractors, CACs they call them. They know exactly who to hook you up with. You want the best pond in the market, in my opinion, and I challenge anybody to find a better one. Let me tell you what this is. Here's what this is. This is a commercial build on a residential lot. I mean, down to the plumbing. I couldn't believe the 2-inch inside diameter, 1/4-inch thick, reinforced. I've never seen tubes like this. I mean, even the hoses, okay? And they've installed thousands of these, corporation-wide, all over the place. They've been running for decades. They've got it figured out. They're dialed in. The hardware is quality. The appliances are warranted. They run like they're supposed to run. The pump to pump the water from the 5,000-gallon reservoir up the hill, the 25-foot stream into the biofalls, which becomes part of the filter. Then after the water's filtered, it comes out of the biofalls down the 25-foot stream, a series of waterfalls, adding oxygen to the water all the way down. That pump, I'm going to say it's just over. We figured we are gaining about 20 feet of elevation from water level to biofalls level, and the head pressure on the pump says it's going to pump over 5,000 gallons an hour at 20 foot of head pressure. So it's going to turn the pond over once every hour, and it's going to oxygenate the water all the way down. Everything's good. Now, that's going to have a particular volume of waterfall sounds, okay? I want it to be nothing but relaxing and soothing. I don't want a turbulent, downpour, scary kind of noise. And sometimes I may want it just quiet. So there's a feature now on these pumps, these huge pond pumps. There's an app, and you adjust the flow rate on the app. It's fast, slow. I can't wait to show you that on a video. But that you guys know, that was one of the whiz-bang options I was able to afford thanks to your generosity. Certainly not required, not needed, but now I can adjust the water flow, which essentially is the volume control on the waterfalls. That's what that amounts to. So I'm looking forward to that. Actually, total stone weight could be over 20 tons. These are just the boulders, and there'll be lots of gravel, lots of fill. We'll start getting smaller to fill in the airspace and make it look more natural. It's Appalachian garden. That's fusion of Japanese and Appalachian gardening culture. And I did have the pond installers install a large tree. We had to get the tree up the hill and in the ground before we finished the pond, or we wouldn't have been able to use the heavy equipment to get the tree up the top of the hill. And it's about a 9-foot Hinoki cypress, some variety that grows very naturally, very uneven. It's kind of scraggly. It looks almost like a tall bonsai. Love it, Hinoki cypress. And we've got several other Japanese style trees to install. Thunderhead, Japanese black pine, Japanese maple, of course, at least 3 of those I know of. Another small Hinoki, dwarf Hinoki shrub, and also a variegated gold-tipped Hinoki that's, I don't know, it's 3 feet tall. So we've got, and I'm going to incorporate some mountain laurel and some rhododendron, and probably, I should say this out loud just to clear my conscience, a mimosa tree, which is invasive and not very well liked. However, it's so beautiful and so Asian. And my connection to the mimosa tree goes back to my childhood when I discovered my first hummingbird nest, ruby-throated hummingbird nest. My first hummingbird nest I ever saw was on the branch of a mimosa tree. Yeah. So even though it's invasive, I'm probably going to plant the mimosa tree in my Appalachian garden. So there it is. Okay. Comment below. Let me know what you think. If you need to beat me up for planting invasives, I understand. It's okay. But we're moving forward. Things are happening. We're on the road to progress. 20 tons of stone, and boy, is my back tired just watching those guys move all of those rocks. I mean, 2 full days at least of removing dirt, and we're not done yet. This thing is, you saw in the video, you saw the little painted line on the grass. Okay. It looked like, yeah, okay, that's a good sized pond. You can grow some koi out in that thing. All of a sudden, when that earth is removed, man, but, and it's happening. I'm so excited. The dream pond is happening. It's not a dream. It's a project, and it's in progress, and it's right outside my patio window. I sit in my recliner, and I look over my right shoulder. Boom, pond build going on. Contract said 4 to 6 days. Contractor shows up and says, 3-man crew for this job got reduced to 2 men before we got here. So They got here Monday, was a Monday evening. Had a little bit of work Monday evening, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 full days. Tomorrow they're going to work a full day. Take the weekend off. They're staying. These guys, listen. I mean to tell you, they're GoBots. They're machines. They're beasts. They're staying at a hotel, away from their family all week while they're building a pond. Crazy. And I wish it were a pond and they could wrap it up in 2 days. I'm glad it's not. Yeah, I mean, this thing, it's out of a zoo. It's out of a resort. It's out of an amusement park. It is absolutely phenomenal. It's beyond anything I thought I would ever have. But now that we've bitten the bullet and we're into it, I'm just glad we did. It is going to be a koi facility. Boom. But now it obviously has a life of its own. Even outside of the koi, it's the pond. The pond is a lifestyle changer. You don't have to be a koi person or a fish person. You don't even have to get close enough to the pond to see the koi to appreciate it. I'm going to, and if you come to see the pond, you're going to. I'm going to make sure you see the fish too. All I'm saying is the garden, okay, the plants, the Appalachian style garden, the waterfall, the boulders that are just, I mean, they're not stacked on the earth. I think you get the picture now. They're carved into the earth, so it looks like they've been there for a very long time. Very Japanese-y. And it's fantastic. And we're right in the middle of it. Tomorrow, we're not going to be finished tomorrow. That's my prediction. They're going to take the weekend off, go be with their family, come back next week. Next week, we will be finished. And perhaps as early as Monday, maybe Tuesday. And then Tim, the contractor, will make a couple of trips back, just kind of rents out. Okay. He knows how these new ponds age and mature right away. So he comes, rinses out, and then I think I'm gonna say it's a 4-week cycle until the water clears out. Okay. It doesn't turn pea soup. It gets a little bit stained. Okay. I've looked at one during the stained stage and you can still see the fish. You can still see the bottom. It just wasn't crystal clear. So he comes back a couple of times within that 4-week settling period, whatever that pre-cycle is, and does his little tweaks, assessments, and then enjoy your pond for several decades. And he says that a lot of times folks, what they do is they get accustomed to this water feature lifestyle and they go right in for designing an expansion. Lots and lots of work, or taking your existing beautiful pond, having a few weeks, months, years to think about it and say, if we had another waterfall over there that kind of fed in to this end of the pond and maybe extend this end of the pond, they do it all the time. So I have to caution myself saying this pond only consumes half the backyard, because this pond consumes half the backyard. Half of the backyard is now a pond in progress, which is amazing. That said, it does leave to the imagination the other half of the backyard. It can't be, we have to have a path into the garden. So it won't be a larger pond, but the other half of the yard is also a hillside. So it could make another nice meandering stream down into the existing pond. It's just another pump, right? A few more Appalachian style plants. I'm down. You guys down? All right. Every journey begins with the first step, even the epic ones. This is an epic journey. I've heard the grass is greener on the other side. Maybe it is. But this time, I'm dreaming about my own backyard. I've spent a long time dreaming about this pond build, most of my life. Lots of times when I would crack open a beverage and fire up a cigar, this is where my resting mind would go, thinking about this pond. And now it's happening. I feel like I've climbed the hill of patience, waiting for this very moment. I'm in my pond, man. I told you this was an epic journey. And now we have bucket after beautiful bucket of that red Tennessee clay mud coming right out of the earth. I had no idea that this project was going to involve removing so much dirt. Fortunately, one of the neighbors' house is under construction, so we don't have far to go to deliver the clean fill. This heavy equipment and these strong men have really done a number on my backyard. I'm sure they know what they're doing, but they have absolutely obliterated my beautiful, well-kept backyard. It's one big mud hole. Don't do this at home. These are trained professionals. I've been assured and reassured everything's going to be fine. I'm going to have the beautiful, euphoric pond of my dreams, just like we talked about. But just now, it's the rough spot. We're on the first full day of digging and only about 70% finished, so at least another partial day of digging before the installation of the infrastructure begins, with the underlayment and then the liner and then the pond water moving appurtenances and lights, followed by boulders and decorative stones. So we're in for about a week-long build. We just finished the first full day of pond construction. Tim and Emery of Pond Country are absolutely wonderful people. I couldn't have asked for nicer or more competent people to come up here and build my pond. This is back-breaking work and not for the faint of heart. I don't know how these guys do it in the mid-July heat, but I thank my lucky stars that I found them and they're installing my dream pond. I had to find out what makes these guys tick.
What I love about my job, it's being able to sweat and get dirty. No, seriously, it's the chance to come out and create something that simply didn't exist a few days before. You know, maybe a one-day job, maybe a week-long job, but we get to create something just out of a blank canvas. I like problem solving. We get to solve problems as we go. There's always a challenge, a quirk, but the most important thing is the fact that, like you'll experience in a couple of days, when a customer hears and sees that water the first time come running down, dropping into the pond, that first experience when they get to put fish into the pond, the fish are swimming around, just that emotional reaction, it's just wonderful. Most people don't have jobs or get to create that type of a positive emotion in customers. You know, you work at a hotel desk, people are going to yell at you because the room was wrong. You sell auto parts, they're going to be mad at you because, you know, they had to buy something because the car broke down. What we do is create an emotional reaction in customers day in and day out that they can enjoy every day. This isn't just a one-time Disney vacation and you just go on and you think about a memory. This is something you get to come out during the winter. Ice is on top of it. You get to see the water crashing and sparkling. Summertime, you come out and feed the fish that eat out of your hand. It's truly a life changer. That's what we get to create, and that's what's so wonderful about this job.
It seems like just yesterday I was flipping through the Pond Country catalog, and now here we are already constructing the pond of my dreams. I'll put a link in the description below for the Pond Country YouTube channel. If you liked this video, please hit the like button. If you know someone who enjoys ponds or may be thinking about building one of their own, share this video with them. And if you've not subscribed to the River Life YouTube channel yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the bell icon to make sure you get notified whenever we upload new content. Talk about the dream pond that is now finished. If I listen closely, I can almost hear it running in my backyard. Nearly a lifelong dream come true. Realized there's a pond in my backyard. It's a huge pond. It's a dream pond. If you saw the video that we premiered yesterday morning, you get it. You get the scope and the scale of the project. And yesterday, the video ended with digging in progress. And we went from digging to placing rocks. Well, it was liner, underlayment and liner and rocks and a skimmer and a biofalls. filter and the pump and the skimmer, 5,000 gallons per hour at a 20-foot head pressure. It's crazy, that thing. And it handles debris. It's a dirty water pump. It's a workhorse. It's a monster. Not only that, but it functions on an app. I can control the flow rate on the app, as well as a weatherproof box outside the pump. It's amazing. So we went and then the plants. They're young plants. They're scraggly. They're going to grow in. They're going to be beautiful. The water is so dusty, dirty. It's gray. Can't see 3 inches below the surface. That'll change. In the morning, you'll be able to see 1.5 feet. And then tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, should be clear. Then we'll start the cycling, the maturing of the pond. We've got beneficial bacteria on an automatic. Well, there was an initial dose of dechlorinator, stress beneficial bacteria. Now we've got a drip system set up to continue automatically. It's automated. The introduction of beneficial bacteria. So I'm exhausted, but it's a good exhaustion. My knee hurts, my neck hurts. I'm tired. I'm old. That's part of this picture here, but it's been very busy, very hectic, and my old body feels it. It's feeling it. But I'm super excited. It's just so wonderful to complete a massive project that's been in my mind for so long. It's been on the books for a little while now. We've been talking about it for a couple of weeks. Wow. Man, that thing is awesome. I mean, it just exceeds expectation. I might have a video or two. I mean, of course I do. I know that I do. I'm just teasing that out there. Maybe we'll show some of those. All of the cool things about the dream pond that I already enjoy before it grows in, before it matures. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm so fortunate, so blessed to be able to have a pond, especially of this magnitude. River Wife and I are just so pleased standing on the patio following a heavy downpour, looking at the yard that just moments before was a red clay, muddy mess, bag after bag of mulch applied around the pond to the bank. Boom. Oh my gosh, those rocks that were once covered by mud are now a beautiful rock garden. That pond, it's so expansive. The fish are going in day after tomorrow. We lost a couple of fish due to heat stress and all of its nasty cousins the last couple of days. We're going to talk about that. It's horrible. It's horrible. The rain, much needed. We needed the rain. Wow. You know, I would rather have pond workers building ponds instead of watching me stress over not having my pond built under a covered patio. I know what you know what I mean. I know you do. You would believe the footage that I've gathered so far. It's in the can. Got to edit it, get it out there to you. We're going to talk about that pond. Whew, man, it was a build. I'm exhausted. Can you tell? Don't answer that. There's no good answer to that. Just take my word for it. I'm excited about my pond. Okay. I've wanted a pond for a very long time. The video that I premiered yesterday is an excellent representation of my excitement, my idea, my dream actually coming true. The first 2 minutes are cinematic and building to an epic beginning, and then there is a plot twist that will give you whiplash. It is elevated entertainment. I hope you enjoy it. That video has got the highest, what do they call that? Is it viewer retention, audience retention? It's got the highest that I've ever had on a video. It's got almost 200 views already, and the audience retention is like over 50%, 52.8% or something. It's already generating revenue. That doesn't happen on videos typically. So it's engaging. You want to watch to the end. It reveals things in different ways. I did use the drone quite a bit. Learning to fly that drone has been so much fun. And man, did I give it a workout on that video. So that's a shameless plug, but I really think you'll enjoy it. Please do check it out if you haven't already. Oh, I can barely hear that pond when it gets quiet in here. That 5,000 gallon per hour flow over a cascading waterfall. I've got to count the waterfalls. I mean, 20 waterfalls. At the bottom, it splits into 2 waterfalls, and the water spreads over large rocks as it comes into the pond. I'm going to show you a picture in a minute. Oh my gosh. I don't want you to think I'm exaggerating. I'm going to look at some pictures of a pond. You came to see a hashtag pond. I put something about a pond being finished in the thumbnail. I'm going to show you some evidence. We're just going to see. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to be transparent, and we're going to enjoy the good, right? First, we're going to start off with the good. Yeah, then we'll be kind of more reveal. Oh, wow. Oh, man. They're all good. That's my problem. Okay, I think it's going to be this one. Yeah, this is going to be the one. Okay, I'm going to show you this. Pause. I'm going to show you this little video. The first time I saw the pond run, the water starts at the top of the 25-foot stream that goes up 20 feet in elevation. It's 25 feet long, and the water just starts coming down. This is the first time I saw the waterfall run. I'm going to show it to you. And here you go. See it up at the top there now? Oh, wrong finger. There's the water. Now it's down in the center of the screen. Coming down. Oh, boy. I'm excited. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, it is. And into the 5,000 gallon reservoir. Okay, I love that pond. There's a sneak peek. The pond is finished. The pond is working. There's the evidence. It's more than a water feature. It's more than a yard enhancement. It's a feeling of accomplishment. It's definitely something we want to share with you guys. We want you to enjoy it with us. So many opportunities, including stocking with some gorgeous koi. My producer just walked in and recommended that we turn some of the studio lights down and give you a look at it on an iPad. Okay, let me get it in frame, and you can just reach in there and do what you do.
Okay. Mark is up.
Oh, here it goes. Honey, if you want to turn this little ring light off here. We are fish keepers. We love to see water running. Is that true? That's in my pond, man. Oh, man. I love that split at the bottom. It goes over those big rocks. That's at about 5,000 gallons an hour going into that 5,000 gallon reservoir. Thank you so much. The bad news. I've listened. I could talk about the good news all night and then some, and how excited I am and how beautiful this is. And I'll tell you the danger is I just don't do videos about it. I just go enjoy the pond. I just check out. I go veg out and just have my Bohemian Rhapsody out there by the pond and don't make videos anymore. Hopefully that won't happen. That won't happen. But it is relaxing. It is appealing. But there's a little bit of bad news this week. Oh man. Oh wow, I just got to get it off my chest. I've got me a 5,000-gallon fish holder out there with 25 feet of cascading waterfall. Now, there's a calculation, water in motion calculation. We could add that back to the 5,000 gallons. But for YouTube purposes, that pond is a 5,000-gallon pond. That's the way we're rolling. It's a 5,000-gallon pond. I'm not going to call it the 5,000-gallon pond. I'm going to call it the Dream Pond because that's what it is to me. That's why I'm not going to install a hammock and just veg out on my covered patio by my pond with a large cascading waterfall because of your support. I want to share this with you. So, Alaska Hood is in the house. Congrats on the beautiful pond. Thank you. Thank you so much, Alaska Hood. It has been a very long time in the works, starting with a 300-gallon stock tank in basement of several houses ago to house some baby koi. And now 300 gallons in the basement becomes 5,000 gallons in the backyard. Hey, it only took a few years. You know what I'm saying? You got to set a goal. You got to take that first step in the journey, and you just got to keep walking until you get there. That's all. Lean on your friends, ask for some help, share some other things with other people along the way. We do life together. We get nice things, we share them. This is fantastic. I love it. Listen, fam, the bad news. We had a heat wave this week, the hottest week of the year by far. We had rain showers in the area, not locally. So some sort of pressure system just pushed that heat down. It was getting hotter up until sunset, like 6, 7, 8. It kept getting hotter. And my koi temporary tank, the 300-gallon stock tank, galvanized steel on the patio under the cover, but the patio extends beyond the covered part to an uncovered part that just is concrete exposed to full evening sun. So as this heat wave pounded down, those pond builders, I don't know, I gave them Gatorade, water, ice. They were really good about taking breaks. They use manual equipment. They use heavy equipment. They took good heat health care themselves. I had some of those wet, those things you wrap around your head or neck. You get them wet, and they do that micro evaporation to cool you down. Gave them a couple of those things. I had a large outdoor umbrella for plein air painting. I had that thing staked in the ground. We were moving around to make shade. I had a big drum fan. I pulled my fan out there and had the fan, just any little breeze, anything would help. I mean, this heat was oppressive. I don't know how those guys did it. We worked together. We pulled it off. They were able to work healthily to get it done, which is amazing. The pond is treated. You can't see anything. I'm going to let the water run all night. And tomorrow I'm going to start monitoring temperatures. And tomorrow night, as early as tomorrow night, I can transfer those koi into the pond. So maybe tomorrow night, maybe soon thereafter. This isn't just the microphone talking, that this has actually been on my mind for a while. And so the line that I used in the video, I said, sometimes when I crack open a beverage and fire up a cigar, this is where my resting mind goes to think about this pond. I've thought about this pond for a long time, and I just sentimental moment. I may be holding back some tears or something right now, telling you that the dream came true. Dreams really do come true. And mine came true in high fashion because, in part, and I've told you guys, of your support. And I appreciate you very much. And when I go out there with River Wife and we're doing nothing but holding hands and looking at our beautiful pond, you're going to be a part of that. We're going to be thinking of you and how special it is to be a part of a community that cares and that helps each other and that shares. So happy to share all this wonderful news with you. I don't want to generate any pond envy. I just want to, I'm so happy about it. I want to share it with you. So I hope there's something in that for you. We're talking about how this is going to change our life when we go to fish shows, especially koi shows, koi specific shows. We've got a place to put the koi. We don't have to say, "Ooh, that's nice." We could say, "Do we want that? Is that the one we want to get from this show?" And so it's not, 5,000 gallons is relatively small compared to, larger scale koi ponds. But for a water feature in our yard, it takes up half of our backyard. There's a flat spot in our backyard with a buried propane tank and then the concrete patio we've talked about. And everything else is pond now, and a steep hill, not good for anything. But Looky can run up and down the hill if she wants to. Now it's a 25-foot waterfall, half the backyard pond. So now the other half, which is out of our view shed, the way the house is laid down, still green space, dog space, and we're not done. Finished is a relative term. Okay, we're going to get to that. Not exactly finished. Done. Finished. Well, the pond builders left. Tim Fagan, if you watch the video, you know all about him. Fantastic guy. He's going to be a guest on a live stream. Think about questions you want to ask him. So he's gone. He'll be back in a couple of weeks. He's going to come do a tune-up, check everything out. Because that's what he does. That's the follow-up. That's part of the build. But he's finished. He can't build any more pond. It's built. It's in there. It's running. He comes back and it's like, have you decided where you're going to put your permanent electricity? Have you noticed any quirks? Did you hear this noise? How did this thing run? Did you try this? Did you do that? Did the lights suit you? Oh, the lights. There'll be a video, okay? Thanks for hanging in there. I'll show you a video of the lights. 67 of you still watching. Underwater, outside the water. It's the total package. Now, there are rocks in addition to structural pond rocks, like just watch the video. Please, watch the video that premiered yesterday. You'll see the stream bends, kind of a natural turn down the hill. So in between the turn and the pond at the bottom of the hill, rock garden, okay? Or should I say the beginning of a rock garden? There's more to come. The Jappalachian garden surrounding the Dream Pond is underway. The Jappalachian garden started with this pond build, and we bought extra tons, plural, of rock to start that garden with. And now, during the pond build, the landscape architect came for an initial consult, took all the pictures, got the drift, got the vision, and is coming back now that the pond's finished, and we're going to start selecting additional stones and plants to populate this Jappalachian style garden around the Dream Pond, a fusion of Appalachian and Japanese culture expressed in a garden. Rhododendron, laurel, hinoki cypress, Japanese maple, ginkgo, river birch, these things that are indigenous around bodies of water and streams in America and in Japan, fusing them together. And then what are the accent pieces going to be, you ask? Bonsais. Yeah, and that's where azaleas come in, gardenias, junipers. There's going to be, it's a bonsai garden with feature stones, 3 feet long koi. Oh, so yes, finish is relative. The pond builder took his wheelbarrow, dusted his hands off, went back to Knoxville, showed me where to plug in the pump. I can make the video now and show you. We've got a pond. So, what are your ideas? What fish do you want to see? What bottom fish do you want to see in the pond? What ideas do you have? If it were your pond, what would you be making videos about? If you're thinking about a pond and you're not sure, what are you not sure about? What can I help you understand from my experience? What's of value to you for me to share? Everyone's working hard, but this guy laying down on the job. Total overcast, out of nowhere, right in the middle of a pond build. This beast turned out to be a wimp. It can't carry these tons of boulders. Tons and tons of boulders. Up that hill. So now we're having to hand carry boulders set in the pond. The clouds could open up any minute. There's a beautiful, beautiful patch of blue sky. Backlit clouds, amazing. It's been 94 degrees today. Everyone's working hard but this guy, laying down on the job. I mean, looks like some kind of special ops sci-fi hybrid piece of equipment. Can't pull a hill. What are you gonna do? We're gonna do all we can do. If there's lightning in the area, we've got to lay down everything that has metal in it. We can work in the rain. It just gets slow and sloppy. We don't know what's gonna happen. We're gonna take it step at a time. What else do you do? I don't know. I don't know. Comment below if you know. So if you look really close, right up there is a new tree. That's one of the Appalachian style Hinoki cypress trees. It's gonna make my garden beautiful. Here's another little Hinoki, a little variegated model. It's gonna be pretty cool. I hate to say the name of this tree right now. What they call it, thunderhead pine tree. It's big clumps of foliage, very nice. Gonna go do my anti-rain dance. Think positive thoughts, pray, maybe drink a little. I don't know. I'll keep you posted. I'm hoping not for rain. I'd rather not have footage of it raining on my pond build. Hopefully I didn't just jinx the pond build. I mean, just a little sprinkle like this, you don't think you can push through?
A little sprinkle, but this might be a little more than a sprinkle.
But we're gonna film the good, the bad, the ugly, the fun. Hopefully not the rain. That's where I'm hoping not for rain. I'd rather not have footage of it raining on my pond build. Hopefully I didn't just jinx the pond build. You know what I mean. Let me tell you what I mean. Tim, are you usually able to work in the rain?
We don't like to work in the rain because it gets really slick. Like this, it's dangerous. So this is kind of a mess.
I mean, just a little sprinkle like this, you don't think you can push
A
through?
little sprinkle, but this might be a little more than a sprinkle track. I mean, it's pretty wet. The ground is kind of standing. So.
There was so much lightning in the area. My first thought was lightning had run into the house, kicked the breaker, caused all kinds of mayhem. But upon further inspection, it looks like the appliance may have shorted out or something, throwing the breaker inside the house. Anyway, I took pictures, sent them to my contractor, Tim Fagan, Pond Country. If you haven't met Tim, I'll put a link up above and in the description. You can check out the Dream Pond Contractor video and learn all about Pond Country, the wonderful work they do, and what a great guy Tim is. He overnighted me the new appliance. Everything's fine. Now, we got the pond finished. We're moving forward. We're doing some detail work now. Can't wait to share the rest with you. Be sure to check back here next week when we release the first video of the finished pond. We've got the pond finished. It's absolutely stunning. It is the pond of my dreams. My expectations have been met. I think you're going to love it. I know you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Check back in with the River Life YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the icon notification bell beside the subscribe button so you'll be notified when we release that new video about the finished pond and other content. And if you like this Dream Pond playlist, by all means, share it with your friends. Share it on your social media. Copy, paste on your social media. Call someone. Hey, check out this video. It's kind of cool. Give them a text. Whatever you do, communicate. However you communicate, share this video series if you know anyone else that will like it. However you communicate, share this video if you know someone else who might like it. If you like contemporary art, tropical fish inspired in some cases, check out River Life Art on Etsy. Also, River Life TN on Instagram, where there's lots of fish stuff and art and bonsai and pond and koi, travels, fish conventions. Well, we couldn't stop the rain. It didn't do any good not having patience. You just kind of had to lean into it, wait it out whether you wanted to or not, and just watch what happened. Eventually, it all worked out. It stopped raining. Things dried up. The pond got finished. Everyone's happy. But it was a trying few days. I'm happy to share it with you. I hope you liked it. Be sure to hit the like button, and I'll catch you on the next one. Till then, why don't you get out there and see it, love it, and live it.
Thank you, and welcome to the Pond Country Lifestyle.
Oh my gosh. Tim, what have you done?
I have brought you a present.
You didn't have to do that.
Say thank you and welcome to the Pond Country
Oh
Lifestyle.
my gosh. The Pond Country Lifestyle.
Pond Country Lifestyle. So,
Wow. The
thanks
box
for
was
letting us
cool.
do this fantastic thing in your backyard. You'll absolutely enjoy this, change your life, change your lifestyle, and you will enjoy this.
Tim,
thing
we
for
already
decades
are.
to
This is
come.
amazing. And thank you so much. That was wonderful.
Absolutely.
I'm going to get into this thing. Let me do it. I'm going to get into this and share this with people. Is that okay
Absolutely,
with you?
yeah. Check it out. See what's in there.
Does everybody get one of these when they build a pond, or am I special?
Nope. Everybody gets one. We put
Maybe
a
it's
kit
an
together.
and, not an or.
Yeah, it's an and. You know,
I'm special.
You are special, very
And
special.
all of your customers.
All of our customers are special. Every pond is special, be it little
The
or
pond
large.
is
They're all
definitely
different,
special.
but they're all special. So,
Tim, I'm looking at that water. It's flowing a little differently today. Can you
Yep.
just tell us what you did there?
yeah, keep the video running. I'll just point out a little tiny rock. This small rock right here, we came back just to tweak the water flow. Too much water flow was coming toward the bank. It allowed more water to push out over this middle part of the pond. So just gives us a big different direction. Came back, tweaked that today. Tweaked one of the lights up at the top of the stream just so it gives the right visual. And that's what we want, is have happy customers.
So the pond's been running for about a week now. It's
Yep.
in a healthy part of its cycle.
Absolutely.
And we added some bacteria, some healthy bacteria today.
Yeah, all the ponds will go through a cycle like this where the water turns brown, turns green. This is not a permanent situation, just part of the cycle. So we got the auto doser running today, which will be dripping bacteria in. That clarifier, that will continue to help. We added some pond starter bacteria in here today. So you should start seeing the water transition over the next few days. You can see the lilies are up and growing. So as those plants develop, all the other marginals, this pond ecosystem will settle out, and you'll have not only a beautiful pond, but you'll be able to see the bottom of the pond, see the fish swimming
We're
around.
absolutely excited to have this pond, Tim. I want to put you on the spot, ask you a question.
Absolutely.
I have great editing skills. I won't embarrass
No
you.
problem. I've been
Listen.
embarrassed before, so it's all good.
Why do people want this aquascape lifestyle, pond country lifestyle in their life?
The stress that is in everybody's lives now. I mean, you can't step out your door, you can't turn the TV on, you can't turn the radio on without hearing something bad. And I think that stress builds up in everybody, particularly in this 2020, you can't go places. So to be able to step out your back door, just listen to the water for a second. I mean, hear that water flowing, see your fish swimming around with the lights in there. You can do it in the evening. Went to another customer earlier today. Her favorite time is to come out at 2 a.m., sit and watch the pond because she's stressed out. It relieves her pressure. That's what it does. And this isn't just, you know, you hike up in the mountains and see it one day. It's not you go to the beach for a week. 365 days a year. Doesn't matter what the weather is. You can have this. Just enjoy it and relax. People need to relax. Pond country lifestyle. Whenever we build a pond, we have it mostly good condition when we leave. There's always going to be some tweak. The gravel may settle in a spot, liner shows up, owner has a question about, you know, how to deal with the biofalls or how to fix the auto doser, those type things. So sometime in that first couple weeks, we'll come back for just a checkup visit, check on the pond, bring the little swag box back to say thank you, check it, make sure there's nothing going on, you know, make sure we're good. At that point, we're giving a 1-year warranty on the whole deal. So we have a 1-year warranty on our install packages. Something goes on, call us in that year, we're going to deal with issues. Beyond that, we'll come back as needed. You know, if you're a customer that wants monthly service, we have monthly packages. We come do everything on a monthly basis, clean the skimmer, the biofalls, do it all for you. If you want to do it, we have supplies available. We'll give you the suggestions of what you need. And then annually, ponds typically are going to need a clean out, get the heavy sediment, the sludge, the debris out just to keep the water crystal clear. So at that point, we'll give you the rundown on how you can do it yourself. You're probably not going to want to because it takes a lot of pumps. There's a lot of mud, pressure washer, all that stuff. So we come out, we'll do that in the spring. So starting kind of February through May time frame usually, drain the water, pressure wash, get sludge out, transfer the fish into a tank while we do that, put the fish back in the pond, water treatments, button everything up, get it looking good. let you enjoy your pond so you can just enjoy the pond country lifestyle.
Tim, is it true that you're a rain magnet?
It sure seems to be. I guess I need to figure out my little rain dance, but we have had some projects.
Well, sometimes
we start
you deserve
working
a
and
break.
The rain just comes down.
You deserve a break. I think the skies are looking after you.
I think that might be it. That's what I said on this. When it started raining, at least it got really cool. We were soaked, knocked the temperature off a little bit. But yeah, we seem to be a rain magnet sometimes. So call us. We'll build a pond, bring the rain, clean it up at the end, and give you a great water feature.
That's good.
And right at the top of